Welcome in, Delphi.
Thank you.
I appreciate you not only making time, but being willing to interview about some of these questions. Some of them are, like we said, we're going to be easy. Some of them are going to be hardball ones. And what's really funny, like I want to talk about this on the podcast since we're recording and all that. Um, I remember when you reached out to me and you were like, "Hey, listen, like, do you mind if we get into a call before we do this podcast? Like, I want to feel the vibes. I want to get to know you." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I remember that like I thought it was gonna be like a quick call. I thought it was gonna be like 30 minutes or something like that. We were in this call for 2 hours, chat. Literally, basically doing a podcast in a private call, talking about all this stuff beforehand, and it was just one of those moments where it was like, bro, what are we doing? Yeah, right. Oh my god, it was great, but like it made me feel good because when I've been doing like setting up for the podcast stuff and these interviews and all that, I've been doing this all solo. So like I have an Excel sheet I've been doing by myself. I have been like reaching out to people by myself. I haven't had any help. This is all like been me right now. So like Vit was like the Vit being the first person I talked to. I hadn't had like a know of him a little bit. Like I've known him for about a month now. Like maybe we've had like one legit conversation at Discord call, but most of it's been like, either I've seen him on Twitter or I've talked to him a little bit in his chat and he's talked a little bit in my chat. So I knew a little bit what I was getting into.
Yeah.
Delphi is the first person I did not know before any of this. And I was like, it's one of those moments where like in the back of my mind, I was like, there's nothing can go wrong, right? And then I was like, I probably should have been more cautious, but honestly, those 2 hours were some of the funniest, most realist 2 hours that I've ever had in a while, and I appreciate that, and that's why I'm more than excited for this interview. So first of all, like I said, yeah, like I said, like welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Let me give a little bit of context or a little bit of, can you give me a little bit about yourself? Let's start with that. Tell people about you.
So, first of all, my name is Delphi. I am the CEO of Triple Alliance. We actually started streaming like near the end of COVID, like after the whole hype of like streaming and everything. I was actually at my master's program at Lake Erie College of Medicine, and all of a sudden, just got back into gaming. Like we were so focused on school, we were so focused on like a construction business that we lost sight of like why, like little things like hey, hanging out with friends, playing some video games, just little things that don't actually matter, I guess you can say. And then when we started like gaming towards the end of COVID, like that little spark came back, and we're like, hey, I miss hanging out with my friends. Man, I remember the days when I was like in middle school and I would go hang out at my buddy's house. I remember like playing the PS3 and all that good stuff. So it brought back memories, and all of a sudden, my friends were like, "Hey, you should start streaming. Like, you really like playing games, you really like talking to people. Like, just start it, see what happens." So we started on Twitch. It took us about 4 months to actually get affiliated, which is freaking terrible. But we did everything wrong. We did everything so wrong. But within those 4 months, we learned, and then once we got affiliated, and then we started progressing further and further, we started making more content. Our setup started getting better. The videos that we were outputting started getting a lot better, and then all of a sudden, people started rushing in. So we were doing really, really well over there. And then all of a sudden, Kick came around. And everyone was like, "Oh, it's gonna fail! It's gonna fail! It's gonna fail!" And I'm like, "Well, how do we know? It might be the same thing as Mixer. It might not be. I wasn't around for Mixer, but everyone was telling me horror stories, and I was just like, what's the worst that can happen? We moved platforms, right? We moved to Kick. Guess what? Tell everyone in Discord we're moving over to Kick. Start over the same way we built our whole like brand, and then worst case scenario, we just bring it back over here. So now we're here, and then that's it. We're just
You're here.
now we're here.
I think there's been a lot of people's outcomes lately, and like I've seen this all over Twitter. I've seen this also like through people's streams and all that. But people have come over here for a multitude of reasons. Like they want more money, they want a better change, they think, oh, a newer platform means a fresh start, a better growth, whatever, because Twitch is so densely populated. It's hard to go anywhere else to stream because it's either too small and it's not backed by like a big company, or it's so overly saturated that going anywhere is the same thing as doing it on Twitch, and it's just like why else would go? I think a lot of people like myself who came over to Kick came over because, like I said, it's a different opportunity. There's better opportunities. There's new opportunities, and it's almost like, I don't know if you felt this, but like there's like this sense of like a grind again. Like I feel like the grind on Twitch from affiliate to like partner is such a steep grind. Now, if you like look down to the nitty gritty, it's not horrible, but it's just the consistent viewership over a mass platform like that is so hard. Versus the grind to affiliate for and verified for Kick is such a smaller gap. It's much more achievable. Like it's not like the grind is going to be like, oh, it's going to be a month and I'm over. This could be like maybe like a half a year, maybe a couple months, maybe like 4 days for some people, depending on some of the days. But it's such a more realistic grind that it makes me want to do it. Like I felt like going for partner on Twitch, I had to like give my life and soul to like streaming for years almost, and it almost was like a disgusting thing. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and at where I currently work, I've been there for almost 8 years, and they're like, wow, like most people don't last almost anywhere for let alone 5 years, let alone 8. And I thought the same thing at like Twitch is like some people have been grinding Twitch maybe like the least effective ways, but they've been grinding for years to be just basically at the same spot as where they're at. Versus what I feel like, yeah, go.
Like they're doing it the wrong way though. A lot of people nowadays, I truly believe a lot of people want things handed to them. I really, really do.
I agree with that.
People who just want to go in, they're like, hey, all I gotta do is stream. I just gotta play the game, and that's it. A lot of people have gotten to the mindset that even, like, yeah, all these big streamers, they don't even need to read their chat. They're gonna be there regardless because of the gameplay, the value they're providing, right? They're playing tournaments, whatever it may be. But people think they can mimic that from the very beginning, and you really can't. At one point you need to understand, like, yeah, you're not going to catch everybody chatting, you're not going to catch everybody saying something or every donation or every sub, but a lot of big streamers, what they do at the end of the day, they go and they thank everybody at the end of the stream. So that's their way, because it just goes too fast for them to see it. And it happens. One time we got raided by Sweet Storm. She brought in like 2,000 or 3,000 people into the stream. My thing had to be put on slow-mo, and I couldn't read anything. I could barely read hers. And then she gifted 10 subs, and I was like, hold on. Did I read that right? And I had to scroll and go back down. There's things going on. I'm like, I don't know how you do this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's super intense. So like, but a lot of people think like, oh, I have one viewer, I can ignore them. I'm like, no, that's that one person that starts to believe in you at that point, right? That's your first person.
Oh, yeah.
And then they might not come back because in the beginning your stream is going to be, low quality, but at the end of the day, that's where you build from. You get that one person, and the next person, and the next person, you create that connection. But people are just like, I'm just gonna stream. That's all I'm gonna do.
Now, regardless of Kick or Twitch, do you remember the first person you interacted with, or the person that subbed you or followed you on any platform when you first started out? Do you still remember the person?
The first person that actually came in was actually my best friend Dylan.
Let's go. Let's go.
I was, because we were like talking like this, like we're in a game, and then he's like, just start your stream. Bought everything, you set everything up, just start it right now. He put it up, he made a profile, and he was in there. The first person to ever sub was Stiggy McWiggy. It was one of my buddies from back. I'd known him since I was like in elementary school actually. And he started streaming. He started teaching me like little tips and tricks. And he's like, yeah, but I just do it for fun. But this man would have like 20, 30 people in there regardless whether he was paying attention to chat or not. But he was like, this is how I did it. And I was like, but you don't talk to anybody. He's like, no, I tried to. But he's like, but it goes fast. So I remember those.
I remember when I first started like full on streaming back in like 2020. So I started streaming back in 2018. I remember a few people back from those days. I remember I was playing Life is Strange. I remember I had somebody from Brazil come to my chat, and she was just saying like, oh yeah, I'm always up around this time. Like, why are you up around this time? Like, I work nights, so I'm up at this time. And we just started talking about like why we're up at late, the game and all that. But when I started stream full time, the first two people that I met outside of like my own personal friend group, one is my lifelong friend, best friend, Playtown, and she streams on Kick too, and she's been killing it lately. And we've been best friends ever since. Like, I've been to her house several times. We've been there for like special moments for each other. it's been she's like I said, she's been one of my best friends. I talk to her about everything, and it's been one of those life changing moments. And another person I love, his name is Alive Inside. One of the best DJs I've ever fucking met. I was playing Call of Duty one day. It was before I even hit affiliate on Twitch. I was just grinding, blasting music because I didn't care about DMCA at the time. And he comes in and we're just talking about music. Like he's like, I was like, oh, do you like Call of Duty? He's like, yeah, it's all right, but I just came here because you had a vibe going. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
He was one of my first ever subs too, and we've been friends ever since. He's been on his own grind. I've been on my own grind. But like, if that ever came a moment where that man was like, hey, like, you mind coming over, or you mind playing games or doing this and that, I would fucking do it. That man,
Yeah.
that man put a smile on my face that got me lit up to keep doing streaming and content creation for those kind of moments and memories.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy the people you meet online. I do believe the people you meet online typically the ones who are going to support you the most compared to the people that are your friends in real life.
Oh,
And it's because
absolutely.
they have lives. Like I get it, but so do these people, right? But they choose to be there for you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Absolutely.
where. And like I had a conversation with one of my buddies the other day actually, and I was like, because we started selling merch, and he's like, "When are you going to send me a free hat?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "This is business right now. Like, this is where we make our money. Like, you just want me to send you a free hat?" He's like, "Yeah, but I've been in your street a couple times," and I'm like, "Bro, I love you. I care for you. I know you don't mean any harm, but why are you so down to buy?" I was like, "What did he buy? He bought pants from like some guy from YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted them shitty quality, but he went and bought them, and he's so happy. He always wears them and everything." I'm like, "Yo, you spend $60 on shorts or pants, like jogger pants.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even like it, but you wear them all the time, and you're happy about it. Why can't you buy a $28 hat from somebody you say you support?" I was like, "The same way you support the people that don't know you, why can't you support someone that you do know?" I was like, "Even if you don't have the money, just follow,
Mm-hmm.
like share it." Because dude, it took me forever to get some of my friends to follow. When I was like
It's
starting off on
nuts.
Twitch, there was like the 50 minimum requirement. It took me
Mm-hmm.
forever. I was like, guys, just follow. You don't have to do anything, just follow. It's just a number. Just let me do it. I was like, I'll worry about the average. Just let me help me.
Mm-hmm.
And it took forever, months. Even when my family did, they didn't
Hmm.
understand it. They're like, "You're wasting your time." And I'm like, "I'm not at the bar. It's a Friday night. I could be at the bar getting drunk and spending money. I'm here trying to do something that I like."
Exactly. You're trying to not only you're trying to like grow what essentially is your business, which is streaming, but it's a passion of yours. It's a business passion. You're trying to do something that you believe in. And like one of the things that we talked about was like in our private call that I'm going to bring out here is like Walt Disney. One of my greatest like when I talk about streaming, when I talk about anything passion growth wise, is always going to be this Walt Disney fact of that it took over 200 tries at multiple banks for Walt Disney to get a loan to be where he is now. Like, and like you've talked about before in that private call, like people said, like this guy didn't have any kind of imagination or creativity,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
dude, and like I said, we're talking about the same Disney, the Disney that has so
yeah,
many animation studios, so many live studios, that has
yeah,
bought out so many other companies that whether you like what they're doing right now or not, got to where they were, but before that
yep,
was rejected multiple hundreds of times. Hundreds, dude.
yeah,
Like I remember when I was talking about wanting to stream, my parents didn't get it either. Like nobody really got it. And like I was in a time where like the only people who knew about streaming were like the young kids. And I was like I don't want to even state my age right now, but like the younger like, why don't you stream? Why don't you stream? Like, what is streaming? It's like, what are you
yeah,
talking about? And then when I get into it, I'm like, oh yeah, there's this, and I'm like, oh wait, not many people know about this or do this. Nobody really knows about this kind of form of art or content or there's even this light. And when I told my parents, they're like, oh okay. And then when I kept talking about it, they're kind of like questioning it and questioning it. And when I finally started like getting subs and start talking about it, and they're like, well, how can we support? I was like, just believe in me. That's really all I care about. I was like, if you want to give me like the Twitch Prime sub that you get because you have Amazon Prime, you have to do it every month. I don't care if you do it. You can. It's just $2.50 that goes towards me regardless. But as long as you let me believe in my dream and you believe in me and all that, that's all I care about. That's really
yeah.
all that I care about. And then there's one day where I came into stream and it was the most awkward moment. I was talking to my friends in chat and I was playing Red Dead. I was playing the story mode and we're just, being boys, kind of one of those moments. We
Yeah.
are talking about some of the stupidest shit possible. And my mom came in here and she was like, what did I walk into? And I was like, oh, hi, mom. Hi, Mom. This is how I make money. I'm sorry for my mouth, but I'm not gonna stop because you're here. But I'm just saying, sorry you walked in on this. My bad.
Dude,
So,
that's the crazy part. My family comes into my streams all the time. So when I was on Twitch, right? It took them
mhm,
forever to download Twitch and make an account.
mhm,
They don't know what Kick is now. They're like,
mhm.
hey, we haven't seen you go live. I'm like, oh, I'm on Kick. He's like, okay, how many platforms are you going to be on, Delphine? And I'm like, well, Instagram, Facebook, Reels are good, like TikTok, like YouTube Shorts, all that good stuff. I was like, all of them. And they're like, okay, we'll download it. They haven't downloaded it. Like, I get it, they're busy. But at the end of the day, they're just like, are you doing good now? Are you happy? Are you making money? Are you doing what you need to do to pay your rent? Or do you need help? And like
Mhm.
now they're understanding. They're like, do you need money? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, like I'm good. Like the moment I was like, you won't even know if I need the money because I just come home and I'll be like 50 pounds less. You know, that's when you know, like, hey, mom, give me some food, right?
Dude,
I'm like,
I think that's one of the things I miss about my parents being so close is just like my mom be like, "Do you want to come over and get food?" And like when I was married at the time, I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to be near my family." Now that my parents like moved across the country, I'm like, "Damn, I kind of wish I had those opportunities now."
yeah,
But I think even just having your parents may not be able to fully understand, just but being able to be like, "Hey, listen, are you happy? Like, we support you in this as long as you are doing it right and as long as you are loving what you're doing." I think that in itself is like something that most streamers, this is something I wish most streamers could have in their life. Are you happy? Are you doing it the right way? And as long as you're loving what you're doing and you're doing it right, we support you. Like, I wish that for people who are getting into stream, because some people don't even have that, let alone in their friend support. Like, it's
yeah,
even to this day, I still have issues talking to people about streaming and doing streaming and anything kind of like that. And I was really funny because like I forgot which YouTuber does this, but this YouTuber was just tweeted out like, do your IRL friends know you stream? And I'm like, that's and it's like honestly for me it's more of a fear of not understanding and just being judged for it. It's so much easier talking to someone like you or Playtown or anybody else who do streaming or involved in streaming or watch streamers to talk about streaming than it is about people who don't even know what streaming is or will judge me because they're like, oh, you're doing streaming, like,
yeah,
okay. And I'm like, I'm not trying to like pressure you to follow me, I'm not trying to pressure you to do anything like that. You don't have to believe in my dream, I believe in my dream. But like, I try not to bring it up unless a conversation about it comes up or someone asks about it or sees something about it. Like, oh, I saw you posted this on TikTok. Do you stream? Do you do this? Like, yeah, I do this stuff. Like, this is my passion. It's what I have a heart for. And it's just nuts that like, unless someone brings up streaming, it's such an, or any kind of content creation, it's such a hard
yeah,
thing to talk about because it's what I view it is like when my dad was learning to be a musician, he was doing like wedding bands and all that. You like it's such like a judgmental thing, especially art, especially making money. You know, if I told anybody, "Hey, I'm a lawyer, I do this," and they're like, "Oh, wow, okay." If I told anybody, "Hey, I'm a musician," like unless you're a musician, you're like, "Oh, okay." Like, do you record music? Do you this? Do you make money? And you just tell people, "No, I do it for fun." Like some people give me tips. You're like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay." Like which like I understand, like I totally understand it. At the same time, it's such a weird concept that those mentalities and mindsets that we either see through our own friends and family or through people we know or even just through media. Like there's just so many movies where someone's like, yeah, I play in a rock band, I do this gig for free, and
yeah,
and the person's like, oh, you do it for free, oh, you don't really make money, and that kind of stigma gets into people. Like those stigmas
yeah,
apply to streamers and content creators where they don't even want to tell their IRL friends because they don't want to be judged for it. Like think about having a passion. Think about doing something that you love and your whole heart and your is on your sleeves and it's vulnerable. And just
yeah,
and having just someone
yeah,
just shit on it without even knowing the background stuff you have to do to get to there is like heartbreaking. Like that's why I never judge people for art. I will be like, hey, I may not understand your art, but as long as you're loving it, like keep going with it, man. Like art is such a subjective thing. Same thing with like
yeah,
singing, same thing with like music, same thing with like anything else. It's all subjective. And a great example of that is like streaming. Streaming has so many different forms. You have video game streamers, you have just chatting streamers, you have streamers who watch other people's streams. And if you ask me, personally, I find that as the laziest form of content. Because even though I find it as lazy form of content and I find it as maybe not the most enjoyable viewing form, there are people who like that because of either the person that's doing it or the people that they're watching. Like if I go to a Just Chatting streamer and they're watching a YouTube video or a TV show, you know, I might want to watch that because they may have some funny context. They might have some whatever. That's the same thing for like Just Chatting streamers who watch other streamers. Like they may provide a content or provide an entertainment that may not be my style, but it's still a style. Now, can I tell somebody, hey, don't do that? That's not streaming. No. But that's the same thing when I tell somebody, hey, I stream, and they're like, you need a real passion. You need a real hobby. Like, no, this is it. I'm going to keep doing this. Like, I may not like it. It may not be my cup of tea, but it's still an art style and it's still a form of passion, whatever it may be. If they're making money from it and they're happy doing it, whatever. Yeah, I may not like it. I may not personally agree with it, but it's something that they like doing and something that's helping them be successful.
I get it, but I've literally seen people, and specifically on Kick, and this is the one thing where I can see like people like talking down about it. I've seen streamers pull up streamers, and then all they do is write, copy, and paste. They can Control and V, and do that for hundreds at a time. Just go, and their entire stream is just saying that. And as they're doing that, their viewer count is going up and up and up and up. But it's just people tapping each other up at that point, and she just does that. Go,
go,
and then I see the message. Sometimes they'll come into my stream and I'll see the message. And I'm just like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Like, I see you do it.
The guy's like, I've been around the block. I'm not new to this.
Yeah, and like it like I see it and like I acknowledge it, but at the same time, I'm just like, it's kind of weird to me, right? Because when I go into people's streams, like I'll try to make a genuine connection. Like I'll talk to you guys for a little bit, especially if like throughout the day, like I'll go in there, talk a little bit, and I'll leave my phone to the side and do work, and I'll come back for a little bit. Cool. Pull up on my computers. Like I think that's fine, but there's people who just take it above and beyond. Like they take it a little bit overboard, and they're just like,
it's almost manipulative at that point. Like they're doing this not because they care about you, but they care because they know it's successful for them, and they're trying to get you to either tab them up so they get a view. I hate to say it's almost like a pyramid kind of scheme, but for their own stream. Like they're the top of the food chain. They're like, all right, let me go to all these chats and type this and see if they can get me up and boost these numbers. And then when they realize that they don't get that kind of growth or support, and that's just someone just boosting other people's streams for like the how many ever seconds to minutes they have them up, but it's not a real connection. It kind of defeats the purpose, and then they wonder like, why is nobody coming to my streams and talking to me? Bro, all you do is go to other people's streams and say a half-hearted or basic ass comment. You don't really build a connection. Like hot take. Just because you say W in a chat does not mean we have a connection.
God.
I support.
That one pisses me off so much.
Here's the thing. If you're streaming, right, and you have other people tabbed up, and there's like a dead moment where you're waiting for the lobby to go or whatever, or a friend's going to the bathroom, and you want to share an emote or you want to say a W, I have no issue with that. But don't blindly say that's a connection. Saying W in a chat is not a connection. Saying W is saying W for whatever reason. If I'm there and we're just talking or having fun, and you say W, I can't tell if you like the conversation or you have me tabbed up and you want me to know that you're still there. Like, I don't mind you chatting, but understand that when you say W, I don't know what the fuck you're saying W to. Like like I could be dead silent and I'm not doing shit, and you say W, and I'll be like, what is this? Like, this is like, I'm grateful for your comment, but at the same time, like, what the fuck is this? Like, all right, what are you doing? Like I said, if you're streaming and you want to throw up an emote or whatever, that's fine. I don't care. But don't be surprised that that's not every streamer does that. Like, if I'm streaming, I have a job to entertain. If I have a free moment and I want to come and do something to you while I have you tapped up, I'm gonna do it because of the goodness of my heart, not because I have an obligation to come to your stream while I'm streaming to give you either a W or an emote or whatever. If you don't like that, that's fine by me. I don't care, because here's the thing, and I have to say this because somebody on Twitter posted this. They said they had to apologize because they didn't show the support that the streamer wanted. I'm gonna say this straight up. There are a million ways. Yes, I will pull this tweet up too if I have to. There are hundreds, if not 1,000 different ways that you can show support to a streamer. And if a streamer does not like the way you show support, whether it's lurking, whether it's chatting, whether it's a gifted sub, whether it's whatever, if they don't like the way you show support the way you can, or you know what, let me rephrase this. Every chatter has a life. Every streamer has a life. So if they can't be there for your stream, it's not because they don't support you, it's because they have a life. So if a streamer can't get to the fact that you have a life outside of their stream, they don't deserve your support. And you know what? Honestly, they can go fuck right off. They don't need that kind of love and support, because if somebody is like, you're not talking in my chat, or you're not lurking me, or you're not gifting me subs, they obviously don't know what support is. And if they feel burnt out because they feel like they don't get enough attention or love because they don't see the numbers they deserve, fuck them. All right, honestly, they can go fuck themselves. They can go fuck whatever mindset they have, because the streamer is what the stream chatters, right? The people in your chat, the people viewing you, the people doing whatever, you gifted subs, whether it's chatting, lurking, sharing your fucking link without you knowing, anything like that. Those people who made you to what you are is the reason why you're relevant. It's the reason why you have that persona, that ego, that whatever. And if you can't get past the point that your chatters, the people who support you, have a life, and they may not be able to support you every time you click that live button, or every time you need a sub, or every time you're requesting chatters, you should not be in this business. You should not be getting that support. Those people deserve the attention and love from somebody who's going to give them to that, knowing they have a life. They're doing something outside of stream world, outside of the kick, outside of whatever you're doing. That person, I've met so many people who have had hard struck luck, and they could not be afford internet, that they couldn't even be afford stream. I had somebody like a month ago being like, hey man, I heard him do your streams. Like, dude, I don't care. Like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, man, I just been having a hard luck time. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, I care about you. I don't care that you haven't been to my streams. I don't care if you've been to my TikToks or whatever. Are you okay? I care more about the person who is viewing me than the view itself. And if I talk to them after today and they never come back, I just want to know if they're okay. If they have a wife, if down the road, if they said, yeah, I got good luck, I got a job, I got this, I got that, I've been busy with them, like, dude, awesome. Beautiful. I'd rather you do that than be in my chat worrying about me.
Yep.
Chatter,
So,
yeah.
it's crazy you say that. I was talking to somebody the other day, and then on stream, I went to go visit them, and I'm not on Twitch anymore, but I'll still use my Twitch to go support others, right?
Right.
And I'm talking to them, and I overhear, and they're like, "Oh, I'm about to leave Delphi streamer role," and I'm like, "Hi, like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do?" Like, the first thing I did, I was like, "Yo, what did I do to you?" I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then he starts going on and on. He's like, I just don't have the time for this. All this and that. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I was that's fine. I was like, well, I don't require anything. All the things are expectations, not requirements. And on my paperwork, it says streamers will not lose their streamer role because of life, whether it's school, work, family, marriage. You just want to relax. That is life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was like, you never have to worry about that. And somebody wrote in there that I know was like, hey, it's all love, man. Like, you don't have to leave. Like, everyone understands when you're busy, you're busy. He's like, no, he's like, I will never be streamer of the month, all this and that. So we incorporate something called a streamer of the month. Like, backtrack.
Yeah.
Those who go above and beyond, what happens is they get 10 free entries into the big giveaways that we do. This giveaway, we might end up doing an iPad depending on what the community wants, because we do polls.
Okay.
So we might end up doing an iPad. Those who is streamer of the month, what's going to happen is they get 10 free entries. That's about 10 gifted, right? Because each gift is an entry. But just for being a streamer, you get one entry anyways, no matter what. That gets put in there. Now you have 11 entries just for being a streamer. That's
right.
it. If you for a streamer, you get one. If you win streamer of the month, you get 11.
Okay.
All the expectations are like, hey, go talk to people. Hey, meet people. Make genuine connection. Don't just talk about gaming. Get to know them as a person, because it's more of a genuine connection when you see them in your chat and you're like, hey, how's your dog? Hey, you told me that you stubbed your toe today. How did that go? Was it bleeding? Was it not? Like, like little things. Oh, I heard you stepped on a Lego. I saw you have kids. Did you step on a Lego? You build a different connection and like, make them laugh, make them smile, whatever it may be. And some people are just like, same thing. They'll go into stream, lurk, same stream, W. And then they complain that people don't come into their streams. I'm like, hey, did you try talking to them outside of stream? I was like, yeah, talk to them during the stream. Have you tried talking to them outside of it? I was like, maybe 10 minutes. I was like, you don't realize that what people are going through, you talking to them, you initiating that conversation might change their day, right? Like today, I saw your Twitter, your tweet,
Mhm.
right? I'm new to Twitter. I'm not gonna lie. I used to call it the little blue bird. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I saw your tweet and I was like, oh, my man's down bad. Let's go send him a message real quick, right?
Dude, I'm not even joking, chat. So for context, the night before this stream, I was debating if I wanted to do a stream or not. I was kind of been like dealing with this heavy depression. I don't mind talking about openly about my mental issues because, you know, it's me. I don't mind being an open book at times. I was dealing with a lot of stuff, and it's mainly just all like just in my head stuff, like not like hard luck stuff. It's just I've been always exhausted. I can't find the passion to play games. I just feel like kind of like outcasted lately, and I just kind of like been getting in my head. And I made a tweet like not really thinking it was gonna like be anything. It was like, hey guys, like I thought I was gonna stream tonight. I told some people I was gonna stream tonight, but my depression's kind of real heavy right now, and I kind of just need. I'm not going to do anything. Like, I'll be there tomorrow for sure. I have something big planned, which obviously is this interview. But I was like, sorry. But like, it wasn't meant to be like, sorry, I have depression. It was like, sorry, I couldn't make it to the stream. And like, I remember this morning, Delphi's like, we still good for today? Like, just want to make sure, first of all. And I was like, yeah, we're all good, man. We're all good. And he's like, hey, also saw your tweet. You good? Let's talk about it. And I was like, ah, shit. I was like, yeah. Like, and I like, you know what? Like I said, I'm an open book because I like being real. I'm real with my depression. So if somebody I trust, which I've been trusting you, comes in and asks me like, hey, are you good? I'm going to be straight up with them. Like, hey, listen, I'm in my head. I've been doing this. And and I remember right before this call too, he's just like, hey, just want to make sure you good. Like, how was your day? What's going on? Like chat, if you want to know someone genuine, let them DM you after you saying you're having a hard time, or let them comment saying like, are you good? Like, what's going on? Like, I love the people who will be like, hey, like, take the time you need, whatever. Like, okay, beautiful. I love you. But the people that like reach out to you a little bit extra, but like in a DM, if they have the availability, like don't always have to feel like you need to. If they feel like the need to reach out and do a DM, take those opportunities because nine times out of 10, they're usually someone who wants to show love and support and has genuine care for you. Like, I love those moments for people, and I love that Delphi reached out to me, was like, hey, what's going on? Hey, here's what helped me out. I like going for walks. I like counting my blessings. I like realizing the people who love and support me. Like, I love those moments. And the fact that he was even like willing to outpour his love and support and even give me advice on that, it was just one of those moments where I was like, oh my God. Like, this dude is real. This dude is not like, hey man, hope you get better. I'll see you tonight. He wasn't like, hey, just get your shit together. He was like, hey, I get it. I go through shit like this too. Here's what like, if you don't mind me giving you advice, I have some advice that has helped me out. Like, dude, oh my God. Like, do you know how genuine, like we talk about genuine connection changes lives, like connecting with people, talking with them outside of stream, inside of stream, just genuine connection can be the difference in somebody's life. And like, I've been learning through over the years, the difference of overdoing connection and connecting with people and connecting with availability. And I preach this on a daily basis of, there's a difference between being there for somebody and being there for somebody when you can. Because if I'm always there for somebody, like, I'm never gonna have time for myself. And then they're gonna be like, dude, you need to make time for yourself. Like, I can't because there's always somebody with an issue. And somebody told me that like, there's always gonna be people with issues. And it sucks because that's life. But when you think about it like this, your life and what you have inside you is like a cup. Your cup is constantly being filled in with people who love you, who support you, good vibes, good feelings. Maybe you're just in a great mood and you have time to give some back to somebody. That life and all that essence is in a cup. And when you give back to somebody, you're pouring out of that cup into theirs because they need a refill. And the same thing when you have a down moment, people do the same thing for you. They pour that back into the cup. Well, what happens when you keep pouring into cups and no one's pouring back into you because you don't make time for yourself and you're just like, all right, yeah. You're going to be empty. You're going to be dried. You're going to be burnt out. You're going to be dust to ashes. And the fact that didn't hit me until I was like, oh my God, I'm running empty. And sometimes you need to refill your cup with either self-love. Sometimes you need to refill your cup with just connecting with people that are friends with you, that support you, that love you. Sometimes it's even just self-loving yourself. And I had to realize that, like, I love people and I want to be there for people. but I need to be there when I have the availability and I can give time. If I can't give time, I don't want to falsely say something like, "Hey, man, I have time for you," and then just not be there because like, "Oh man, my schedule's busy. This isn't that." Like, "Hey, man, reach out whenever you need something. I'll try to be there as best I can if I have availability. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I'm not busy, but if I have time, I want to give you that time, or I want to either point you in a direction or give you some advice or whatever. But if I don't have that time, I'm gonna be like, hey man, I don't have like I love you. I wish I had more time to where we could talk about this. But can we make time later on? I want to give them that time, or I want to like make sure I have time for
Yeah.
any individual, and that's a huge thing that I feel like people need to understand is that like as much as I need love, not everybody has time to give me love because they have their own lives to worry about too.
Yeah.
Like that's a wild thing to also concept, and that goes back to my rant with the streamer. Like the streamer wants views, subs, whatever their version of love,
Yeah.
and if you don't give it to them, they're like, why? If I was in your stream,
Yeah.
I put Keck W. Like, bro, like I said, people have lives. They can't always give you what you want. And like that's the unfortunate part of life. Like if I ever called my mom and she doesn't pick up, am I gonna be mad my mom didn't pick up? No, she's probably doing something in her life. She'll call me back. She'll do whatever she can when she is like available or have free time. But also at that same time, she is doing her life.
Yeah.
People are doing their lives. If someone does not come into your chat, doesn't mean they don't love you. They're doing their lives. People have jobs. People have wives, husbands, kids, significant others, dogs, pets. They want to go hang out with IRL friends. They want to watch a movie, watch their anime, read a book. There are so many things that people want to do in their own lives that if a streamer doesn't realize they're not the number one priority, they need to now. Like streaming is a privilege. These people come into your
Yes.
people come into your chats, these people who gift you subs, these people who lurk you or even follow you. That's a privilege. That is a growth, but it's a privilege. If you think you earn a certain status in life, like, oh, I earned 1,000 followers. No, 1,000 people want to give you the time of day. That's what it really is. You could lose that in a heart second by doing the stupidest things
Oh,
possible.
yeah. Easy. Easy.
You can easily lose your followers. You can easily lose your subs. You can easily lose those viewers by not being grateful, by not realizing that chatters, all those people who show you support now or can't even show you support now, all the people who have any kind of form of support for you have lives outside of your stream, outside of your content, outside of your whatever it is. You could say the stupidest thing one day and be like, oh man, I don't, why did nobody do this and that? Dude, the moment you don't realize the support you have, it's going to be rough for you on a mental stake. And it's going to be, and when people see that, they're not going to want to support that. I have yet to find somebody who was like, man, the streamer really wanted like more views and attention. And they were real being a part of my language. They're being a real bitch about it. I really got to support them. No, man, if they're being a bitch about it, they probably don't deserve what you have to give them. They're not grateful for what they have right now.
There's a saying you have to be very, very selfish. So the most selfless person had to be very, very selfish in their early life.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it this way: when you're, let's say you're, just throw it this way, right? You're broke.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help anybody besides yourself? Probably not.
Nah.
You can barely get by yourself. You're paying, going build a bill, whatever it may be. But imagine if you're selfish and you invest in yourself, you do everything for yourself in the beginning, then turn around to be selfless and be like, yo, what I learned in my journey, this is how I can help you guys out. Now, instead of helping just yourself, now you can help out hundreds, thousands,
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever it may be. You can help so many people, but people need to realize you need to be very selfish in the beginning. You
Mm-hmm.
do. But being selfish doesn't mean say, hey, gimme, 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 and beg, 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 beg. It means you're taking the time that you have during your day to invest in yourself, whether it be networking, whether it be learning a new trait such as editing, how to speak to a camera, how to communicate, how to improve your system to have better audio. Like those things, you have to be a little bit selfish to be like, hey, this is what I can improve to make my stream better, right? Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
take away the fact that, hey, I was in your stream, come and give me 10 subs. Like what? So the crazy part is, last month we did a PC giveaway. Do you understand how many DMs I got saying, "Hey, I want the free PC. Can you choose me? Hey, I want this PC. How do I get in? Hey, I want this PC. Get me in now. Hey, how many entries do I get for liking? Hey, how many times do I got to repost your video get a PC. I'm like, my dude, it doesn't work like that.
Right?
I'm like, congratulations, yes, thank you for reacting with the post, thank you for posting this, thank you for messaging me. But I sat there and I was like, you want this, me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I see a lot of streamers struggle, right? A lot of streamers are literally like, me. Give me this, sub me, follow me, do this for me, buy my stuff, make me rich. And
Mm-hmm.
every single time I talk to a streamer, I always ask them, what value are you providing to your community? Because if you're looking at them as a community, what are you providing for that community?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get stuck and they're always like, oh, I don't know. My entertainment. I was like, everyone's entertaining to a certain extent. But what are you providing them? What value are you giving them to come back and continuously stay there for hours on end and to even invest their own money into you?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they're stuck and they can't answer. They get stuck and they can't answer. And this is the part that pisses me off. And I tell every single one of them, you switch the word community for customer. You're using the word community as instead of using the word customer. I was like, that's where you're messing up. You don't want a community. You want customers. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what are you providing them? I've asked this to so many of them. They never answer it. And then they're like, well, I'll provide what you're providing. I was like, do it. I was like, do it.
Just do it.
Dude, I tell them, I was like, dude, you're not gonna. I was like, you want to compete against me? That's perfectly fine. I'm very competitive. I was like, we'll have friendly competition, but when I tell you, I will make sure I outdo you in every aspect. Hey, you did a $10,000 giveaway. I'm gonna do 10,001 cent to be petty with it. It's a joke, right? But I get so competitive. Like right now,
Mhm.
we're doing a competition with fitness. I was like, losers have to eat a bull testicle and wax their
Oh
entire body on screen.
no!
Yeah. So I get super competitive. But I
Ah,
always ask them, like, what value are you providing your community?
right, right,
And
right.
they never answer it. And then they're like, well, what are you providing? I was like, how'd you find me? Like, well, I saw your video that you were doing this. I'm like, which one? Like, oh, you were doing a raid train. I was like, I participated in one raid train a year ago. I was like, that's what got you in here? And they're like, yes. I was like, what made you stay? And they're like, well, I want to get rated. And I was like, understand this. Getting rated is cool. Don't get me wrong. You're trusting somebody else with your community. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I need you to understand something. What value are you going to provide to the community that I bring to you? How are you going to get them in there? I can get them to you. That's easy. How are you going to keep them there? And they're like, well, I'm just going to be funny. I was like, cool, be funny. But when you see that many people jump in, sometimes you freak out. Your mind goes everywhere. I remember the first time I got ready with 3 people and I freaked the fuck out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yo, there's 3 new people in here. Like, let's go.
Let's go.
And I got so excited. But I was like, okay, cool. How are you gonna make them come back? With my funny personality, I was like, man, you need to understand. You need to provide them value, whether it be with information, entertainment, whatever it may be. But everyone's entertaining. As long as you can talk to a camera, you can be personable. Entertaining is very easily. But people get
Mm-hmm.
very bored very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say one of the interesting things you bring about that about like people get bored very easily. Uh, I think we talked about this in our personal call, but one of my greatest examples for almost everything streaming is Tim the Tap Man. When Tim the Tap
Mhm.
Man was starting and he started playing like Overwatch and PUBG, and he went to like, let's say like he went from like, I don't know the order, but I think it was like PUBG to Overwatch. People are like, oh, you're not your same self. Like I only came here for the PUBG. If you only came here for the PUBG, okay, whatever. Like then leave. And then when he went from like Overwatch to fucking Call of Duty, he was like, oh, you went to Call of Duty. I was only here for the Overwatch. Okay, that sucks. Bye. Then he was like, oh, and he went from over like Call of Duty to like, let's say like whatever next game, like Apex. People were like, oh, you only play Apex now? I'm gonna do this. I know he doesn't play Apex for people who
Right.
aren't whatever, but it was like one of the things like if they're there for the game, they're not really supporting you in the way that you as a streamer may need, but they as a content viewer are thinking they're supporting. Like, yeah, the viewers are always nice, regardless if it's YouTube or streaming. But you got to realize these people have different interests and different things that, like you said, that person came for the raid. Like, oh, I came here because I was thinking I'm gonna get raided. Like, that's not how this works, homie. That's
It
not how it
isn't.
works. Like, the streamer has no obligation to you to raid you. Like, and I have to make that very clear. Like, I see people who post on Twitter like, oh, I have this many viewers. Who should we raid next? And then you keep commenting like, oh, do me, do me. And if you never get picked, first of all, that streamer has no obligation to raid you. Secondly, I get what the streamers trying to do. They're trying to get back to the community, but now they have this implementation that people are going to follow them and go to them because they think they're going to get rated. They think they're going to get these gifted subs. They think they're going to get this. And then people are like, why do people not give me like this? Or why do people manipulate all the good things I'm doing? I don't know. You post it out on social media, opening up to everybody who wants to get rated with this many viewers, with this many gifted subs or whatever. And then they wonder why nobody wants to give them the genuine kind of time of day. Just general thought.
I do those videos sometimes.
I
used to make those. I used to make those videos. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But
well, it was like I would never say, "Hey, I'm not gonna freaking gift you subs." All I said was like, "Hey, we rated out to my boy this. He is cracked at this. Make sure to go check him out. And if you want to be next, comment on Twitch down below. Whatever it may be, right?"
Oh, absolutely.
Every person that commented, I will write back and say, "Hey, I see the Discord, right? Because it's easy to pull up, right? I pull up the Discord, it shows who's live, and I'll be like, okay, cool, this person. I'll let chat pick. I'll literally be like, yo, guys, who should we pick? You know?
Yeah, like that. Like in those moments where they're fine. But when you keep doing it every single day, every single tweet, hey, who should we rate today? Hey, who should we do this? Who we do that? It's like, even if you have the most genuine of hearts, just be prepared that people are going to follow you. People are going to like constantly keep coming back and with the wrong intentions because you're showing off these kind of wrong intentions. Like, you could have the most genuine heart, but like, since it's over context of like just a text message, since it's only a brief moment of viewing you in a almost non-full way, people don't know who you really are, and they think you're only here to gift subs and only here to raid off channels. Like, trust me, like I've seen it so many time and time before that it's disappointing that people are going to get to a point where they don't know how or who you are or how you really want to engage with people.
Yes. So the way I use it is a way to get them into the Discord, right? Don't get me wrong. There's a tactic behind it. But if I was, so this is the way I see it, right? In order for me to grow the Discord and provide the most information I can to people, I have to funnel them in. What do people want? You give them what they want, you make a video about it, and you push it out as much as you can. What happens when they come into the Discord, though? It's a very, very different environment. It's where here, these are the things that you need in order to succeed. You want IT support, you don't know how to fix anything in your system? Cool, we have IT support. We got people who've done this for years, and they're doing it for free. Hit them up, you send them a message, boom, you fix your IT support. Hey, you need graphic designs, you don't want to trust the people on Fiverr? Cool, here you go. It costs $3 for an email. We can pay $10. Here you go. They're doing it for free. I was like, they're basically doing it for free. I was like, hey, you want an editing team? Cool. You want to improve your content? Cool. We have a content creation. We have an editor. Here you go. Here are the tools. But I see where people do it the other way around, right? Like, we're providing resources. We're providing like, hey, this is what we can do. Here's the blueprint. Use them. These are the tools. We're teaching you how we're doing it. Here you go. Or there's the other people, right? Like, hey, follow only me. Fuck the rest of the community. You have to be in my stream no matter what. Yeah, there's a role, or there may not be a role, but you better be in that stream 24/7. Every single time I hit play or every time I hit start, have to be there for the entire time.
I think it's really odd. Dude, so two things I want to bring up when you said that. Number one, like when we were talking about community in our private call chat, I love what he is doing with his Discord and how he presents his Discord as we provide resources so you can grow better. You don't have to do this, but these people also aren't going to do most of the stuff for free. Like, especially the emails, like people want to do it because they want to support each other and they want to grow. Like, it's a small fee, but we have trusted individuals who would love to get you to where you need to go. And like I have been in their Discord and I've seen some of these notifications that pop up like, hey, we're doing an OBS like class on recording and like audio fixes. Hey, we're doing this. Hey, we got a movie night. Hey, we got a game night. Hey, dude, I will say right now, the IT channel on that Discord has probably some of the most talked about stuff and the most intricate viewpoints, because there are multiple IT people in there and there's people who want to just generally support other people and helping out issues. Like, I remember there was a guy who was having like this blue screen of death kind of thing anytime he starts computer, and the guy was like, hey, here's what I've noticed about this, here's also a link that talks about it, and he's like, wait, hold on, I think it also might be this. Before you do that, try looking into this. And then another guy, just not even an IT guy, he was like, hey, I had the similar issues, here's what helped me, but I don't know if it's going to be the same for you. And I was like, just mind blown.
Yeah.
Like, chat, like when I say this man is doing something right with his community, he's doing something right with his community. Like, not only did he talk about he was doing like IT support, he was talking about doing these classes, how he's talking about helping out people. There's not a dime to do anything. Like, I could just sign up for this class and be like, hey, here's the time, here's the thing, come to it. Hey, we're doing a movie night, here's the time, here's the movie, just come to it. Hey, we're doing a game night, here's the time, here's the thing to it. Hey, here's IT support, just say what's going on. Hey, I need some ideas for graphic design. You talk to somebody. Like, they may offer a small fee, but that's because they're providing a service. Like, it's mind-blowing that people like try to make this masterclass workshop like, oh, I'm this streamer, I'm this person, and I have the greatest tools. But you have to be in my chat. You have to sub to me. You have to, get into this Discord or whatever. Like, it mind boggles me. Like, you're not ninja when you've been doing the thing for so long where you could do a legit masterclass. Like, 99% of the shit you do is free on the internet. It's just people don't know how to either look it up or the right way to do it, or they're too, what I call, computer illiterate, to where they need extra assistance, and you provide that for them. But they're offering these free tools and these free resources almost at a price. And the price is either your nonstop support for them, like you have to be in their channels, you have to sub to them or whatever, or they make you legit pay for the help. Like, if anybody ever asks me like, hey, can I get some help doing this? Can I get some help doing that? And I have free time, I will either send them a YouTube link of what helped me or what be helpful, or I will spend the time with them to try to get them where they need to go if I'm that close with them. Like,
I feel the same way. But let me ask you this, right?
All right.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with my own thing, right?
Yeah.
If I charge you $1 per month for all the research we offer, would you pay for it?
Me personally? See, that's hard because, like, here's it. Me personally, with all the IT support I probably need, I probably would. But I've also been in your community in the background watching as I seen all that stuff. Like, even if it's $1 a month just to pay for like the IT support people, or to pay for just the community events that you guys do, or the giveaways. I've been there genuinely in the background watching you help out people, watching your community help out each other, that I know that $1 a month would be worth it. But at the same time, like you said, let's play devil advocate with you. You're not doing it for the money, though. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think everybody in the streaming world isn't here for some kind of monetary reason, right? This is,
of course, there is. There's monetary behind it.
Like I said, if there wasn't a monetary value, you wouldn't have enabled your subscription button. The subscription was to help support what you're doing. That's monetization. That's a business. Like, I hate to say this, you can be here for the most genuine reasons, but understand that, like, unless you don't have that sub button on and you have those numbers and views, you're doing it for some kind of money. Like, just don't lie about it. The money is to help build the support and build the dream of what you're doing. But the same thing for the Discord, the same thing for everything you're doing. You could do that. You could charge people $1 a month, $2 a month, whatever it is. But you understand that that's not what builds a community. You're not here to build a business of taking labor from other people and selling it to others for a discounted price. You're building what is genuinely, in my terms, what is the example of community. And I've talked about community in the last podcast, and I'll talk about community in this podcast. Community to me is where you actually feel included in this inclusive environment. And we talked about it in our private calls that community is such a bastardized word around the streaming world, but lately I really been on the kick. Like, when I look at Twitter and I see people like, oh man, like, I like kick community, like this and this. I'm like, bro, I do not want to build a community with you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll unfollow, I'll mute your stuff, whatever. Like, dude, I can't tell if you're genuine or not, but there are some people in Kick that I do not want to build a community around, and that's why I don't like the word community when we talk about Kick. And we've talked about this before, and I talked about this in the last podcast. If I could choose a word, and I don't want to force it on anybody, I would choose like the Kick world, or the streaming world, or the Kick universe, something like that. Like, I'm not telling you have to change your terminology, but we're gonna get to a point where you constantly keep using community, Kick community this, Kick community that, this and this. And then when the Kick community comes knocking at your door and you're like, well, I want nothing to do with you. Well, that's the Kick community, the one that you were preaching about on Twitter, the one you're preaching about in these streams. I want to build these people up. That's a Kick streamer. That's the Kick community that you want. But now you don't want him because you don't like what he does, and you don't like the style of his content. You don't like how he interacts with people in your chat. That's the same community that you're talking about. And then you're going to go on Twitter and be like, oh, community, we got to do better. No. Kick community doesn't have to do better. The people that you don't want in your kick community have to do better. The people you don't want in that sphere. That's why I call it the kick world. Because there's always going to be people in the world who either don't like you or you don't like them for whatever reason. It's going to be it. As much as we want to love everybody that they are, there are some slimy people who don't care about you, about your content, about how you operate, because all they're here for is either their paycheck or their self-ego, stroking, glory, whatever it is. They're not going to care about you.
Let me put it this way then.
Right? All right.
So, because don't get me wrong, I talked about this to you before. I come with a business mindset as well, right? I want to help people, but in order to help people, I have to help myself as well. If I have $0, then who am I helping? Nobody. But if I have $1,000 every single day in my account, I can help a lot of people per day, right? The people that are working with me, like my staff, they're not getting paid, right? They're doing it for free. They want to help. They want to build this whole community up. They want to build Triple Alliance. Triple Alliance is a business. I'm not gonna lie, it's a business. It's an LLC. In the eyes of Florida, it is a business, and they have to pay taxes at the end of the year. But in order for me to give them the best of the best, I had to be able to pay my staff at one point, right? So in order for the staff to provide even better quality content, better quality value, so it's not just something that's just half-assed, then they have to get compensated for their time. And if it means it's going to take more time and it's going to take away time from their work and it's going to cause more stress, at one point they have to have that transition period where they leave their job and make this their full-time job. Just like Amazon. They solve a problem, they're providing it to their people. Hey, look at Google. They're providing a service, yes, but they are a company. Look at Tesla. They are providing a product with a service, right? Because the service is, guess what? You don't have to worry about anything. You can just sit in your car, cool. You have your own person driving basically now. So at one point, this is why I was asking you, like, would you pay 99 cents, $1? Well, I asked this to a lot of people, and they're like, yeah. And then they're like, do it. And I'm like, how do we really do this, right? Let's say there's almost 800 people in there. That's $800 a month. Guess what? That could be used to just pay the staff.
That could be used to pay the staff.
Saying we can make a contract saying all the money we make from that can be for the staff, not for me. Right? That's easy.
Yeah, there's plenty of services you could do where you could just put people's PayPals, and then like at the end of the month when all that money is revenue through the PayPal, it just does a split between all of them. But
the way I was thinking of doing it is actually poking gain the Discord. You get parts of it. But the services are there. The people that want to see it, you can still see it. But in order to get access to the actual services, you need to have access to it. You need to show proof that you pay that $1 monthly. Guess what? That's when instead of charging people, then it's free. Because I'm pretty sure if we made it this way, right? Let's say videos, right? Editing. My editor charges about $25 to $30 for videos between 0 and 30 seconds. What he charges my community is $10.
That's a steal in itself.
So imagine, not only do you just get that discount for you pay the $1 monthly, but you get that discount alone. You're gonna pay the $1.
So realistically, you're paying $11 for even if it's like a TikTok video, which is like generally $25-$30, depending on which that being great. Not only are you getting more than half off, but you're getting access to somebody who will be willing to give you good quality content or good quality service in a good quality community, instead of having to worry about Fiverr, who may be like up, down, left, right, and you never know if it's good or not. You never know whatever. And like I said, like even if you don't use the service, doesn't mean you're not going to want to use it later on down the road. Like there are plenty of opportunities where like I may not have an IT problem right now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have one down the line where I'm going to need IT help in the future. It's almost like an insurance. Like for like $1 a month, I don't think that's a hard thing. And even if someone can't afford it, like right now, $1 a month because of whatever reason, like I almost guarantee you have no issue as like helping them out.
I'd pay for it. I'd pay for it at that point.
Yeah,
like, hey man, I can't afford it. Pay. I was like, here you go. Here's $1.
Yeah. Like if I ever had that kind of opportunity where I had like a Discord where people will be willing to discount their services to help out people in a genuine community, and so I was like, I can't afford this. Like I'll pay for you. Just be respectful of my people. That's all I ask. And if they're respectful and they're part of the community and I trust them, obviously I have no issue paying that. I think it's
imagine that not only you get discounts from $25 to $10, now you get IT support. Now you get your emails, instead of paying $10 to $15 an email, you pay $3. Now guess what? You might not utilize the service all the time. The editing probably. Guess what? the content creation weekly workshops alone, I pay for a software
Mm-hmm.
that tells me what's trending, what's not, what
Mm-hmm.
words to use, what words not to use, which hashtags to use, how many you should use. All these things with the TikTok updates, I get a trend report. I give
Mm-hmm.
it to my content guy. He does weekly. That's why he does weekly workshops because he reads this off to them. He's like, "This is the stuff that's happening this week for
Mm-hmm.
the upcoming week." That alone, you're gonna be using that every week.
Mm-hmm.
You paid 3 cents a day.
That's not bad at all. Let alone like think about how many people will go out to get fast food or whatever, or will go out to buy a cup of coffee or whatever. And I like how we talk about this. They're like, oh, like I support you with this, but like I can't support you sub. Like that's fine. That's fine. I get that. Like I'm an individual business. I'm only providing you with entertainment. But like to be provided with so many different services, especially like for a streamer, like, think about how many people pay for Twitter Blue right now. Think about how many people pay for, like, what is it? Like Streamlabs Prime for, like, their overlays or whatever. Or whatever service they're paying for that, like, they don't really necessarily always need, but they, like, use it because it's going to help them with what they think is streaming. Think about paying $1 a day. Not only do you have, like, partial, like, virtual IT support, not only do you have, like,
$1 a month.
yeah, $1 a month, art IT support, you have a graphic designer who's been trusted by the community, you have somebody else who is doing game nights, community nights, you have a community. You're not buying a service, even though you're buying into a community service, which is basically like pretty incredible. Like there's not many people who would be like, hey, I have a service and I'm willing to discount it because I love the person who runs this community, I love this community, and I believe in this community. Like some people will be in a community and they'll still offer the service at the same rate. But the fact that these people are not only a part of that community, willing to discount their services,
Yeah.
they're discounting their services on top of that. Like you're not like, hey, I'm paying this guy and he's giving discount services for everybody. It's like, hey, listen, I'm a part of this community because I believe in this community. I'm giving a discounted service because I believe in the people in this community and I want to be able to support
Yeah.
and grow my business at the same time. I don't think $1 a month is a horrible idea. Like people are gonna be mad because they're like, well, I was here for free and this and that. Like, okay, like I get it. Like, if you're here for free, that's fine. Whatever. If you don't want to support us after that, cool. But the people that can genuinely understand that we were building a community for that support, I'm saying it's a horrible idea. As
You know
long
what's
as
crazier?
hmm,
Crazier?
hmm,
I started talking to people, right? And
hmm,
I even said, "Hey, would you rather just sub to the channel, or do you want to pay $1?"
hmm,
More people that I'd rather just be sub to your channel and get it for free because I'm already gonna sub.
hmm.
That's more money directly to me at that point, which blew my mind because it's $5 every month. But I said, "Hey, just pay $1." They're like, "I'd rather just be sub to your account." I'm like,
What?
I'm not gonna say no, but like it blew my mind because I was like, "You'd rather be sub to the channel?" And they're like, "Yeah, because I'm supporting you that way." And I'm like, "Okay, why?" And it took me a second to realize this because of the giveaways. So
Mm.
everything stacks up on top of each other. It was like, cool, I can give you $1, get all the services, but if I sub to your channel and get the service and get it put into the giveaways,
Like like I get that point when you're using the subs to also be towards the giveaways. Like that, it makes sense. But at the same time, like they're paying $4 extra for for like a lottery chance when they can get everything they need as a streamer or content creator or whatever or community for $1. It
but it's
like
crazy. It's
like
crazy to me.
people.
Don't get me wrong, it's crazy.
It's crazy to me because in my mindset, it's like you're spending $4 extra for an opportunity, not a win, not a win of a giveaway. You're not going to be put on a list like, all right, you're next. Here's your whatever. Here's your gift card to Chick-fil-A. No, 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 no. For an opportunity, a lottery of a randomized chance at something.
I'm gonna tell you something even crazier.
All right.
The reason I truly believe our giveaways do very, very well and why we are able to reach our sub goals is for one simple reason.
What's that?
We let them pick what the giveaway is.
Not a bad idea.
I always ask them like, "Hey, what do you want to see this week?" And they're like, "I want to stream that." Cool, we'll get that ready. I literally ask them what they want, and I feel just because of the fact of me asking them, "What do you guys want to be giving away? What do you guys want to potentially win? This is your guys' subs. Where do you want it to go?" At the end of the day, I don't have to do gift. I don't have to do subs. I don't have to,
Mm-hmm.
my bad. At the end of the day, I don't have to do any giveaways
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. But the fact that I'm able to be like, "Hey, what do you guys want to see be given away this month?" That little thing I think makes them feel part of the process and makes them feel like, yo, this man cares. On top of everything else we already do, right?
Yeah. I think that's a brilliant idea because like I think it's easy to give away anything personally. I could be like, hey guys, I'm giving away headphones. And people are like, well, we don't need headphones. I already got headphones. Some people may need headphones, but you never know. I think gauging your audience, and in this case, gauging your community, because that's where mainly your giveaways are being done with, the people who mainly support you, and then the random people, subs or whatever, who want to be entered into the giveaway. Gauging what they want is huge because like you can give away whatever, but if they're giving away something they don't want or need, they're not gonna care, not gonna want to participate. Like, yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna care. Like, if you're like, hey guys, I'm giving away, let's say a controller because right here, I'm giving away an Xbox controller, guys, and you can be like, that's cool, but I play PlayStation or I don't have a PC for that or whatever, and they win. It's like, okay, cool. Like I don't that's nice. Like that's gonna be like awkward and like and I get it like that, or they may be like someone like, hey, can you re-roll? I really don't care for it. And you're like, all right, whatever. Next person gets in, they might be ecstatic for it, but like at the same time, it's like gauging the audience for the giveaway. I think it drives a sense of like I love saying this word, but at the same time, it drives a sense of value within the ownership. Like where I work, they always talk about like, hey, this is not like a business, even though it is. This place is your home because you invest so much time here as well.
Yeah.
Take that ownership in cleaning up your area. The same thing with the Discord. Like, hey, this is a community. You have ownership in this community as much as I own the community in a literal sense, but you have ownership because I value you guys' opinions. What do you guys want for the giveaway? What do you guys want for the movie night, the game night, whatever? What do you guys want to see, hear, workshop, talk about? What do you guys want? Because you guys are here for a reason. Let's provide a service that be more tailored to what you guys have. Because I can always be like, hey guys, we're doing a movie night. We're watching Star Wars. And you'd be like, I don't fucking care about Star Wars. What the fuck ever. Or hey guys, I'm doing, a game night. We're playing Call of Duty multiplayer. And you're like, oh, again? Like the seventh time? Why? Like, oh, hey guys, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm giving away, Chipotle gift card. And you're like, oh, Chipotle. Like, I don't care about that. Like, whatever. Like, there's so many things that, like, we have the goodness intention of our hearts, but we're not gauging the audience with. And we can totally gauge the audience with by just asking them. Wow, it's common sense. I'm sorry. It's easy to give. It's easy to give away money. It's easy to give away big things because people are going to come for big things. But to keep the people that are genuinely supporting you, genuinely want to support you, and be there not only for the community aspect, but for the streaming aspect. Be like, hey guys, what do you want? Mind blown.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys,
That's why
even if you
always ask.
even if you have a budget, like, hey guys, I got a $50 budget. What would you like to see for like a giveaway? Hey guys, here's a $100 budget. What would you like to see for a giveaway? And if they all say, hey, we'd like to see you try to do a gift away of subs. Fine, whatever. Hey, we'd like to see you do like a $100 gift card to whatever restaurant. Cool, got it. Hey, can you do like a new mouse or a new keyboard? Cool. What kind of brands do you guys like? What would you like to see? Would you like to see, off brand? Would you like to see a Razer? Like, it's not hard to engage with the audience. And as long as you keep being genuine with the audience, they're going to want to engage back. Hey, I don't care about the giveaway, but what do everybody else want? I just want to be able to support you. What's the best way I could support this? And if someone, like, there have been times where I've seen people do giveaways and someone's like, hey, I have an extra keyboard that I don't ever use. It's a little used. We could put that in the description. Let's give it away if the people really want a keyboard. Hey, engage with the audience. Hey, this guy wants to is willing to give away his keyboard. Here it is, gently used. He still has the box. He's willing to give it away. Do you guys want that? And they'd be like, oh yeah, sure. Like, I need a new keyboard. It's like, all right. Yeah. People want to be in a community where they can feel like they could be a part of something. They want to feel like they can be, wait for this, valued, cared about, loved. Whatever word you want to use, they want to feel that. They don't want to feel like they're a dollar sign. They want to feel like they have to work to grind to get to something. Like, and yeah, again, some things in Discord, people have like safety checks, like, oh, get to level 5 with bot tricks or get to level 5 with whatever, and then you can do the streamer role. Like, I get that. You want people to be invested, but the way to be invested into people is to invest into people. If people are only there because of whatever reason, because a friend brought them in, they're not really sure, connect with that friend. If they're only here for a giveaway, they're probably not there for genuine support. Just be real. Just like, hey, I only came here because there's a giveaway.
I've literally had people the day of that I've never seen in my entire life. They come in, they're like, hey, you're giving this away? And I'm like, yeah, the giveaway ends. We'll do the giveaway in 30 minutes. So how do I enter? I was like, well, each sub is an entry. they'll drop 20, 30, and I'm like, I'll go crazy, like as I always do, right? But I'm like, you're crazy, man. That's 20, 30 entries. Like, yeah, but I want to see if I can win it. And there's people like don't get me wrong. There's people who just throw money like that, like it's nothing to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's like pinching pennies, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
And at first, I felt very guilty because I'm like, yo, like this kind of feels weird. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, this is paying for that giveaway. They might not win it because there's a possibility they're not, but they just increase their own chances, right? There's no difference between you going to a fair, buying 5 tickets, and saying, hey, I entered this giveaway. But that's something I'm doing now, right? Because people like tangible things. They like
Mm-hmm.
to see things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I'm really incorporating is I went to a Family Dollar because you have to buy expensive things. I bought this glass thing that's like yay big,
Mm-hmm.
like yay tall, right? I'm gonna decorate it, do like I think it's May giveaway, put a little Cinco de Mayo on there, whatever it may be. But I bought raffle tickets. Every single time someone gets their name goes on there, and I throw it in there. But I do it in front of them, and I'll show them, like, there you go, your entry's in there, put it in there.
That's
So
not a bad idea.
they know right away. But people love seeing tangible items. They love seeing that you're doing it on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, cool. If you like that, cool, I'll give it to you. So there's something we're gonna do. We're gonna try because typically we do the wheel. This time, what we're gonna do is shake, 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 and have somebody come over and they pick it out.
Yeah, so it's not like you rig this. It's not like they're like, hey, I know what like, oh my god. Like you're pulling out extra steps to prove this is a pure lottery chance. Like you're going above and beyond. Like to me, as long as you put that fucking name in a randomizer wheel website, I'm pretty much content with the giveaway. As long as you do it live or record it and you're watching people like, and there's a way that somebody can verify you're not alone doing it, I don't care. But the fact that you're doing it, they love seeing like that raffle, like you said, they love seeing that raffle name right off. They're putting in the thing. They love seeing the opportunities. Like some people like that competition, like seeing the genuineness of this. Like I like, and like I said, even if you don't have that ability to get like raffle tickets or a jar or whatever, and you want to do like, you want to show on an Excel sheet, hey, just so you know, here's the Excel sheet. You gifted 5 subs. Here's your 5 entries. Hey, you gifted a sub. Here's your entry. I'm going you up. Like that's good. People want to see that you're holding yourself accountable. Like I love that idea. I think accountability when it comes to giveaways is a very important thing for people. I think people all the time will be like, oh, I should have won this and that. Why don't you give this to me? Like, bro, it's randomized. Like I didn't be like, oh my God, this guy, don't give it to this guy. No, your name was on that fucking wheel. Your name was in that raffle. We wrote it down. You were there for stream. I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like I had some random person come over, come pick it out. I picked, like, you saw me shuffling around on the middle of the stream. Like, what do you want from me? And like you say, it goes back to that entitlement mentality. Like they feel like as soon as they enter, they should win. That's not how it works. Like go tell that to the lottery system. I would love you to buy a lottery ticket. You lose, you're like, oh, you should have picked my numbers. Oh, you should have done this. No, obviously not. It's a lottery system.
The crazy part is, there's a quote, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the quote goes like this: if 100 people go to war, 10 of them don't belong there. 80 of them are just targets. 9 of them do most of the work, and that one person that's left over is a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, everybody is part of the 10.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be here. And don't get me wrong, I want everybody to make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with their mentality that they have, they're putting themselves in that 10. The people who change their mentality little by little then turn into 80 who are just targets, right? And targets, I mean, they're trying, but they're not giving it their all. They're self-doubting, right? I want to be part of the 9, and that's where I'm at right now. We're doing the work. We're trying to talk to people. Because the only way I know this about people, that this is what they like, is because guess what, dude? I communicate with them every single day. I'm in the Discord every single day, on voice calls, trying to talk to them, trying to meet new people, trying to make sure, like, hey, are you good? Like today, I talked to you. Like the other day, I was talking to somebody else. The other day, I was talking to 2 other people. Every single day, and that's what the 9 people do. I'm working my way to be that one warrior, because that should be everyone's goal. But everyone starts somewhere. I shouldn't have been on stream. I had no business streaming when I first started. I told you I did it wrong. I had no freaking business. I was part of those 10.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started stumbling, studying. I was a target.
Mm-hmm.
I was just target. I got lucky up through my perseverance, whatever it may be. I got out of that and became part of that 9.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? I think everyone should strive to be that warrior. I genuinely do. I think everyone has the potential to do it once they get their mindset right.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, it's like, don't self doubt yourself. Yeah, self doubt's going to be there. But I remember I told you this also, the marathon thing. Everyone, like the whole thing, everyone starts off really, really good. They get so excited. They're like, yes, 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 I got my ticket. I got this. I got my new shoes. I got my new water bottle. I got my new shirt, my new shorts. Cool. Everyone's cheering you on the first day. You're like, yeah, you got this. You got this. And everyone at the end is like, yeah, you did it. You did great. All this and that. They're hugging you. They're loving you. They're giving you a drink, whatever it may be. But no one sees the middle part. That
Mm-hmm.
middle part is the most important part. That's where people lose. That's where
Mm-hmm.
you have to have that grit, that mindset. Be like, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, this hurts. Yeah, this sucks. Yeah, am I gonna be hurting tomorrow? 100%. But am I gonna give up? Am I gonna give up to my temptations? Like, hey, slow down. Am I gonna listen to that little voice in my head saying, hey, you can't do it? Or am I gonna knock that bitch up, knock him out? I'm gonna knock that bitch out and say, yes, I can do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's once you realize that middle part is where the winners win and
Mm-hmm.
the losers lose, and everyone goes through it. Everyone next to you is feeling that pain. Then it's easy to get through it.
I like how you said that warrior mentality, and you were talking about, breaking down the 100 people and finding that one warrior. I feel like a lot of people, and like, I don't want to call them false warriors. I want to call them misconstrued warriors or misinformed warriors. Like one of the greatest things I like to think about, and it's like you can see this in almost any movie, like the underdog versus like the prodigy kind of thing. Like there's so many things where people come like dressed out for war, they're the son of a general, and they're like, oh, I know this, I've been around this and all that. And then next thing you know, they get scared of battle. Or they don't get
Yeah.
the glory, or they lose the battle, and they're like supposed to lead charge. They're like, I'm gonna be a failure for the rest of my life, and I'm like, bro, you need to lose to learn how to win. I'm gonna be straight up. Like the best winners didn't win everything. The best winners learned by losing, learning what it felt like, growing from it for whatever standpoint, tactical, strategic, learning how to fail and overcome loss, and kept going. Like some of the greatest athletes of all time, Walt Disney, anybody you could think of that's been successful, 99% of those people came from a rough understanding of what success was. Like whether they came thinking they're going to be successful right off the bat, or they came and they lost and they worked hard to get to where they needed to go. And I think that's what in my opinion, a lot of streamers get wrong. And that's where like I see these giveaways and I see these opportunities that they're trying to give to people, and then they wonder why people are not there genuinely. They wonder why people are manipulating or misconstruing their good heart. Like I said, doing giveaways is not wrong. If you have the availability and you want to, that's fine. But do not be surprised when giveaways don't go the way they turn out to be, because people are there not for you, they're there for the item that you're giving away. And like I said, there's that warrior mentality. Like, I've gotten this many followers, I've gotten this many views, I've gotten this many monies and from subs. I want to get back to the community. Like, yeah, I get your heart. I get it. You want to get back to the people who maybe wanted to grow up. And then, but when you start saying stuff like, drop your links, you got to enter the chat, you got to do this, got to do that, and they do it, and then they're not there anymore, don't be surprised. Don't look around and be like, hey, Fred, what happened to, Donkey Man 77? Oh, Donkey Man 77 was only there for the giveaway and what you were giving him. And once you realize he wasn't going to get what you were giving him out of that lottery of opportunity, he's not going to be there. Like he's gonna be there for what he wants. The people that stay around and want to be there genuinely love those people. Be there for those people. Do for those people as well.
But I'm gonna throw this at you right now.
Yeah.
While you're on that thought, how many times are there like people with cars outside say, "Hey, give me your email address, and you might be entered to win this car."
Mm-hmm.
It's a sales tactic.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
Once they get their email, they can spam you, boom, 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 boom. And it's hard to get it off because there's like 50 different buttons you gotta click. But it's a very, very effective one.
Mm-hmm.
But only if you provide something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And besides the giveaway, and that's where people get it wrong. There's a guy I know, and he said his goal: if I get 500 subs, I'm gonna give away a PS5. I'm like, oh, that's cool. My man has not gotten more than 10 subs each month since he announced that.
Mm-hmm.
But I talked to him and I'm like, what's going on? I thought you were gonna do this. He's like, no one's subbing. I was like, have you tried meeting people? Have you tried making content? Have you tried doing this? Bro, every single time it's an excuse. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been so fed up with it that every single time he writes in my chat or every time he comes into my Discord, every time he says something, I'm like, hey man, how you doing? Like, I'm like all happy, like, you know? He comes around, he's like, you know, life is really has me down. And I was like, at first, dude, I'd be like, oh man, what's wrong? Now I'm just like, man, chin up. Like, life can't suck that bad. You're breathing. You're fucking in America. You have your own apartment. You're
Mm-hmm.
fucking gaming. Life
Mm-hmm.
can't be that hard. I was like, are you complaining that people aren't doing things for you? Then what are you giving them? Like,
Mm-hmm.
chin up, sack up, get yourself out of this dump. But what are you doing for people? What are you genuinely doing for them? Because if you're doing it and you're doing a lot, I was like giving them information. He's like, no, I'm posting videos about me like frying. I'm like, cool, let me see your videos. All blurry. I was like, hey man, fix your quality of your video. Hey
Mm-hmm.
man, I wish I could. I don't know how. I was like, go to IT support. They'll
Mm-hmm.
hook it up. He's like, no, I've been trying. I pull up the Discord. I can see all the comments and everything. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
there's no comment of you saying asking for help. Go to them, ask them for help. No, no. I, when he said no to everything, I was like, now you're just making excuses. Now you just want a pity party, and I was like, that's where I get pissed. I'm like, at this point, sack up. You're in America. You're chilling. You could have been born in freaking Kenya. And I say Kenya because I've been to Kenya and I've seen how they live. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
my dude, you have clean water. Their water looks like chocolate milk. They are happy with the soccer ball that's been broken down, being chewed up by the dog. They're happy with that. They have
Mm-hmm.
an outside porta potty. That's not even a porta potty. It's a hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you have a bathroom, you have a bed, you have a PlayStation, you have a TV, you have a roof over your head, you have three meals in front of you every single day, and you're complaining on people not coming to you. I was like, give them information, give
Mm-hmm.
them value, do something for them. The moment you start doing that, guess what? Your life turns around. You know what this man says?
Hmm.
They don't support me. I'm not going to support them. I'm like, sucks. I was like, you're part of that. You're part of that 10 that shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
And I was like, you're part of that.
I always love the excuse. Well, communication is a two-way road. You're absolutely damn right. Have you been going on that fucking road? Apparently, fucking not. So don't be surprised when I don't go down that fucking road.
Mhm.
Like, I get where he's coming from. If they don't support me, I support them. In a general sense, yeah. But what are you doing to gain support? That's like running for election. You're like, nobody voted for me. Like, what are you doing to earn the vote? What are you doing
What
to
did you
earn the
promote?
thing? Yeah, like, what are you promoting? Are you connecting? Are you growing? Are you, everything in life comes at a value, not a monetary value. You can make it monetary, but everything comes at a value, whether it's time, whether it's energy, whether it's just the simplest of things, talking to one another. Everything comes at a price, and with that, and you can make it a monetary value. Like, I make this many dollars an hour, so this, and that. No, 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 no. But everything comes at a price, and if you gotta invest to see what you get back. Like, I hate to say it, like, that's friendships. You know how you invest in friendships? You start off a conversation, you start hanging out with them, and you realize they're cool people. You want to invest more. You want to hang out with them more. You want to talk to them more. You start a group chat. You play games, whatever. You keep investing. You give them time, and once you realize it's returning in favor because they care about you, they love you. Next time you try to invest in them, they're like, man, I want to do this for you. Like, no, I'm going to do this for you. And you're like, you fucking asshole. I'm going to love you back. Like, it's mind blowing. And it happens in business. It happens in streaming. It happens in everything.
Mhm.
People will do things out of the genuinity of their heart because they care. Some people want to build support because they care. But they do that out of the efforts and the energy and the value that they bring in investing. If someone thinks you deserve to hit affiliate on Kick and they want to share your tweet and they want to share whatever, they'll do it. That's them investing into you. If they want to spend time in your chat, that's them investing into you. But once you don't do the same back for them, don't be surprised when they get burnt out. Don't be surprised when they're like, hey man, like, you have great content and I hope the best for you. But like you know, you haven't invested back. Don't be surprised. Here's the thing. Like, if someone ever came to me like, you don't come to my channel, I'm like, do you come to mine? Well, I alert. Well, I don't know that. Well, I don't want to like make a big deal about it. Okay, but don't be surprised when I lurk in your channels and I don't say anything. Like, I think that's the hard part when it comes to like connection, investment, and all that. Like investing, you have to kind of go out of your way. Like easy stuff is not going to get you the recognition. It's the hard stuff that's going to get you the recognition.
Yes.
And the hard stuff is spending time. Because time is valuable. Effort is valuable. It's like, and I will never dog on somebody tabbing anybody up and lurking. Do not take that the wrong way. Anybody in chat or anybody in this podcast. Tabs are still valuable, but they're easy. Because you know how easy it is? I click on your link, or I click on the thing on the side where it has you up, pull you up, and either I listen and watch in the background, enjoy the content, or I lurk because I got to do other things. Like I got to clean the bed, I got to do the dishes, I want to cook dinner, or I promise my friends I'm going to do a game night with them, but I'm on the computer, so I might as well just do it. Like, but we don't know that. So it's like, I call that like easy level support, and that's fine. That's fine. Yep. There's nothing wrong with that because that's still supporting. You care about those people, you want to support them, you want them to grow. But don't be surprised when, you know, when there's no real recognition of you doing that, that they're not going to come back. Like I love supporters. I love people who support. And the people who can't at the time, don't feel bad about it. But at the same time, like, if you want that same support that you would like to see, you got to give it back, homie. Like, I'm not saying you got to be in like a million fucking people's chat, but like be in somebody's chat for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Talk about them, talk about their stream, talk about their day. Like, don't be like, oh man, I'm pity partying. Oh man, I'm not getting the support. And you're like, bro, be there for them. Because once you're genuinely there for them, they're going to want to be there for you. It's not rocket science, but here we are looking like Neil deGrasse Tyson over here talking about astrophysics on the most simplest of topics. It's
super simple.
But
we're greedy. We're just greedy. They're very, very greedy. They're not selfish with like their time or trying to build something. They're just greedy in the fact that they want everything handed to them. They feel entitled. Mm-hmm. They feel like just by being there, they deserve the world. And I'm like, man, if I thought the same way, I was like, you realize where I would be in life. I was like, I come from nothing. I genuinely come from nothing. I was like, I remember there's times where I would eat like a little tortilla with rice. Or no, I had a tortilla with salt and lime in it. Mm-hmm. That's it. And we've had that for weeks on end. I've seen my dad's car get repoed, his work car, his work truck, we had all his tools in it. I saw that happen in front of my eyes. I've seen my dad cry when he got it back. I've seen us literally have our light bill get cut off. I've seen all that. And then when I sit there and I hear these kids complain, they're like, my mom said I can only do this. I'm like, dude, you're 24, you're 25, you're 26. I don't care if you live with your mom. If she asks you to take her trash out, you take that trash out. If she says clean the dishes, clean those dishes. You say, yes, ma'am. Guess what? You're living rent-free. She's saving yourself a lot of money because that shit's expensive. Guess what? You have it easy where you can literally make it in life. I genuinely believe that I'm blessed. I genuinely believe I'm more blessed than the person who's giving $1 million fortunes. To acquire it. Why? Because I had to develop the skills of being able to push forward, lose, push forward, lose. See the rough sides, get harder, make it. And I built that grit, that confidence, that mentality where like no matter how hard life gets, we'll be able to push through it. Yeah, do we get down 100%? Right? Do we have our timers off? Yes. But I genuinely believe I'm very, very blessed, more blessed than these people who've had it really easy, because when it comes out to the real world, those guys are going to fail. I got to experience all the hard stuff at a very young age that's made me who I am today compared to those people who've been giving everything. So when people are like, hey, don't you feel like, do you feel undervalued, all this? And I'm like, nah, thankfully. Like, thankfully, guess what? Like, I went through it and I made it out of life. You put that person in the same situation I'm in, you think they're going to make it? Nah, they're not. They're not.
They're not gonna make it unless they get a snowball's chance in hell. And like, I like how you talk about being blessed. I think at like streaming, outside streaming, I think just even talking about being blessed is such a rough topic, because we live in, I call this the microwave generation, because they want something quick, fast, and easy, but when it's not the quality they want, they bitch that it's not a 5-star Michelin restaurant. The same thing when it comes out of life, and just for me personally, like we talked about this in the DM, it's just counting the blessings. And the blessings don't have to be monetary blessings, like I'm making this much money. Like it can, like if you're making good money, be blessed. Be blessed you're making money. Be blessed you have a job. Be blessed you have the opportunity to get a job. Be blessed that you have like people that care about you, that you have a family, that you're breathing. There are some people who are born with such deficiencies, like they're born with no legs, they're born being paralyzed, they're born being blind, that have rougher outcomes than you have like, and but they somehow still can count blessings. Like, there are rough situations, and I will never deny a rough situation from somebody. But I always
Yeah.
think there's at least one blessing you can count, and if it's the fact that you're breathing and the fact that you're here, that's a blessing.
There's
Because you,
something crazy, right? Because I know
mhm,
you went through a divorce, right?
yeah,
That must have been really, really tough. I don't know what it feels like, but I know what heartbreak feels like, right? Can't feel
mhm,
yours, right? But something. So when I went through my breakup, something that how do I put this? So when I went through my breakup, it took a toll on me. I
mhm,
did everything I could as a man to provide, do all everything I had to do, try to give them time. Didn't have the time, but I made time. Every
mhm,
3 months we were traveling. We were I was every single day I saw her except Wednesdays and Sundays. Every Saturday was for her. Yeah, was I working every once in a while during those times? 100%. We
mhm,
went to the gym, we cooked dinner. All Saturdays were for her. That time was for her. When we broke up, one of the things was like, you don't give me enough time. We argue all this and that. I'm like, cool. It broke me.
mhm,
But something that got me through it and that really got me to think, that got me really, really thinking was my mom said, hey, it could be worse, right?
yeah,
And that's the moment when my aunt was actually battling cancer,
mhm,
and she said, "Look at your aunt. She has cancer. She has kids. She has a husband who she might leave behind, and you're over here crying over getting dumped." And I was
mhm,
like, "No, I was gonna propose. I was in that. Like I had the ring already set in stone. I was like, I was just had to pay for it. I was like, I sold my bike. I was like, listen to yourself. Yes, you're emotional right now, but think logically, like you always do. Your aunt
mhm,
has cancer, and she's potentially going to lose her family, and she's going to leave everyone behind. You are blessed that you went through a breakup and you don't have cancer." And she's like, "I'm not trying to put it down or trying to compare it, but understand, yes, this is hard, but you're not going to die. Yes, this is hard, and it might feel like you're dying, but you're strong enough to get through this.
mhm,
If that person doesn't want to be with you, cool, let it be." And something that has stuck with me is that whole situation is like, you could have cancer. Thankfully, my aunt got through it. She's in remission right now. But towards the end, no, so I think it was this weekend. My aunt was here.
mhm,
Something she told me, she's like, the people who don't believe in you, are the good enough to make it to the level you want to get to, and that's why people leave. Whether it be
mhm,
a relationship, whether it be supporters, whether it be your friends, they don't believe in your future and they're betting against you. Instead of worrying about them, put your attention to people who are here for you and give the people who didn't believe in you a show.
mhm, absolutely.
And ever since then, dude, I've been like, you know what? I don't have cancer. I was like, I'm blessed. I was like, we got a lot of people to prove wrong. It was like we have a lot of people to prove right too. You know, so that's kind of where like my mentality, like when I talk to you, I was like, because that's what changed my life, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dude, I, it's one of those things of like, I, I, I don't understand. So like, here's the thing. What it's hard for me to understand fully the need to not just be real. Like, I get there's a fear maybe, and we've talked about this, and that's why that's why I brought it up. Like, I get there might be a fear of being vulnerable, of being real, about being you, that maybe it's not what you want to do, or maybe you have this conniving heart because you see the greed, you want the greed, or whatever. But it's moments like this where you see the genuineness out of somebody, where you see someone that you connect with because you can see they're real and they back it up. That's those moments where you're like, these are the conversations I like having with people. These are the moments like having with people. Like, sure, yeah, I could talk to somebody, we could talk about sports and it's easy. I could talk about video games, easy.
Yeah.
But talking about the realness, and whether you agree or disagree and they have different points of view, you know they're real. You know they're genuine. They know where they're coming from. I can always connect with somebody on a depression level because depression is something that's connectable. I connect with somebody on sports, video games, streaming, whatever. But when I connect with somebody like you, who I believe is genuine, who I believe believes in what he's doing, not only for the good of his community, for the good of other people, and providing an example that may even take a risk out of him about being financially vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable, everything like that. You still believe in it and you provide that service, you provide that entertainment, you provide that realness. Those are the people that I love and cherish. Like, and that's one of the reasons, like, I loved our conversation that we had when we were off stream and off recording. I love the conversations that we have on stream and on recording. Like, even like I said, like we talked about the Twitter thing, you reached out. Like, when people see these kind of things out of you, and people see these kind of, how do I describe it? Real moments, real events, realness, genuinity. It changes the game.
Yeah,
And then
just being human though, that's the crazy part. It's just being a human.
But the sad part about that is that there's also that counter effect of that too. And this is like the hard part about it, that you could be genuine. And once you have that taste of genuine, you're like, I know what real is. I know it. I've tasted it. I've seen it. I've gotten it. And when you see someone trying to act like it, you're like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. And then you see a little bit more. You see a little more.
Yeah.
I always say it like this.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
Genuinity is a 5-star Michelin restaurant, and that fake guy is that processed meat. He's that processed burger, not real, not there. Like, it gives you that temporary filling, and it just doesn't taste right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit right. Like you said, I've had home-cooked meal. I know what that tastes like. I've had a 5-star Michelin steak. I know what that tastes like. This doesn't taste the same. Why does this not taste the same? It's because you've been around the block. You've tasted shit before. You've had burnt meat before. So you know what that's like. And the same thing comes with streaming. The same thing comes with people and interactions in Twitter and content creation. Once you realize somebody does not taste the same way as a genuine human being does to you, it hits different.
Oh yeah, dude. We've met so many people that are just faking it for themselves within this whole thing. I give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'll tell myself, like, just be careful. Watch out. Let me know if he does this. Let me know if he does that. Because at one point, dude, there's people who were just DMing people saying, hey, I need money. Here's my GoFundMe. Hey, I need money. This is my Cash App. They messaged everybody in the Discord, and I messaged the guy. And I said, hey, did you do this? Straight to my face. No, I didn't. I pull up the receipts. I pull up the Discord messages. I'm like, this is you? And he's like, yeah. Is this your Cash App? He's like, yeah. Did you send this message to these people? He's like, well, I didn't want you to get mad at me. I was like, I'm furious because I told you don't take advantage of my community. I was like, I am very, very protective of it. Whoever's in there, I will take a bullet for it. I don't give a shit. I was like, they're the ones who are believing me. They're the ones who are putting me to this level. I was like, no. You just are asking and begging people for money. And then they're like, yeah, but I need money. I was like, work for it. Do something. I was like, it's so easy. And it disturbs me that you have to go to this level.
Your dogs, yeah.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
No, you're all good. Chat. We'll take. Now we'll have to do a second interview. Yeah, you're coming back, whether you like it or not. Now.
What happened?
I said you're coming back for a second interview, regardless if you like it or not. Now.
I'm so down. I love interviews.
Dude, I was so like I don't know if you noticed, but like my stream kept cutting in and out like throughout the interview, so I had like hard stop, restart. And then Skippy saying, like, I can't really hear him. I'm like, oh, it's coming. It looks good on my end. So hopefully the recording goes well. And if it does, obviously we'll post it up. But if not, we'll plan for another interview another time. Because these conversations, I love talking with people who have different perspectives, different outputs, different viewpoints. Like I was telling, like in my personal notes, I told to myself today, this month, I want to talk to people of different perspectives on Kick. Next month, it's going to be the hardest month because it's easy to talk to people that want to talk, but I would love to talk to people who have different perspectives, who may not agree with what I have to say, who may not like the style of what I have to say. I want to. I want to have whether you call it debate or an interview or discussion, whatever you call it. I want to have those because they're seeing something different for a reason. They're acting this way for a reason. Like, what made them want to do this stuff? What made them want to act like this? Like, whether they're just confused, whether they are truly what I call the stream guru, or a snake in the grass, or whatever kind of thing you want to call it. I don't care if you don't like what I have to call you. You could disprove my mind. You actually 100% genuine. I could say, hey, I just don't like the way you do Twitter, or I don't like how you do your stream, or whatever. That's fine. That's normal. There's plenty of people who don't like how I talk or what I have to say, and those are usually people who are doing the things that are pretty sketchy. Like, trust me, I don't care that you don't like the style of how I do things or you don't like how I speak about things. You want to mute me, fine. You want to unfollow me, fine. It's probably a good thing you do because because when you come out and the mask is off, and the people are like, "What is this?" You're like, "Man, imagine just being vulnerable, being real for half a moment." Like, here's the thing. I will chat. I will say this 100% of the time. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too.
No.
Like, if I'm wrong, what?
You know what's crazy? Dude, every single time I date some girl, right? And I bring this to everything in life. This is why I bring it up. Every girl I talk to, I tell them like, "Hey, if we date or when we're in a relationship, I'm not promising you I'm gonna be Prince Charming. I'm not gonna promise you it's gonna be happy, daisies and roses and sunshines every single day." I was like, "We're gonna have our fights, we're gonna have our arguments, we're gonna go through our ups, and we're gonna go through our downs." I can guarantee that. I can't guarantee I'm never gonna piss you off. Can't guarantee you're always gonna be happy. I can tell you one thing. I can only guarantee that it'll be worth it in the end. That's all I said.
That's good.
I was like, I'm gonna lie. Why would I lie? There's no reason to.
There's only the only reason to lie is if you're insecure. That's the only reason. Like, oh yeah, I have a good job. Oh yeah, I'll this and that. Oh, I have this, I have that. Like, I don't like when people talk to me about stuff. They're like, do you know anything about this? I'll be like, fuck no, but you seem excited. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
I got a guy who's in the military. He's talking to me about military shit. He'll look at me straight in the face like, do you know any of what I'm talking about? I'm like, fuck no. But I have a general image, and I'm willing to learn if you're willing to keep talking.
Yeah, and then you see the smile on their face, and I'm just like, I'm good with this. I'm chilling.
Dude, when someone is excited to share something, even if it's the smallest thing, I like that excitement. Like when at work, I have a coworker, her name is Martina, and I'll talk to her about streaming stuff, and she'll have a smile, and I'll be like, do you have any idea what I'm talking about? She's like, no, but it's making you feel better. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But like the fact that she listens and she like will even try to engage in the conversation, she'll be like, oh, so you're doing this podcast thing? I'm like, yeah. Like, so like, are you just talking to your friends? Like, no, I'm talking to random people. They're like, do you enjoy it? I'm like, yeah, because we have different views. And he's like, I guess learning is good. I'm like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Dude, it's so wild to me that people don't want to see. They only want to see their own perspective, and that really, really pisses me off. Because I'm like, you're not gonna grow. You're not gonna learn new things, and that's why I'm pretty sure you've seen this Change My Mind on YouTube.
Yeah.
I love watching it. Why? Because he's changed my mind on a lot of things. And then I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't see it this way. But you have to be open-minded. You have to be so open-minded in this world.
And speaking of open-minded, I'm glad you brought that up. I feel and like we've talked about this before. Like I like all these things you bring up because everybody has the same thoughts. They just don't want to talk about it. Yeah. I feel most streamers have a closed mindset, or they're boxed in mindset of how they think streaming should be done. Like we talked about this before. There are people who will get their inspiration of how they want to stream or what they think is a good stream or X, Y, and Z, and then they'll do that, or they'll try to do that, or they'll attempt to do that. And when it doesn't go their way, they're like, well, why is it not going my way? I'm like, well, I don't know. Well, how are you streaming? Well, what got you into streaming? It's like, well, I watched this pro player stream. Okay. And what did he do on stream? Well, he was just really good at the game. That's it? Like, does he not talk to chat? Does he have a personality? He's like, oh, I mean, he's a pro player. He's been around the scene for long. He's been streaming a while. Like, okay, so like, have you been there? Like, yeah, he's kind of funny. Like, okay, well, are you providing something kind of funny? Well, no one's really talking. Like, you can be funny. You're looking behind you, like, you can say something funny without somebody being there. Comedians do that in the mirror all the time. Or you could bring in a friend, or you could do X, Y, and Z. Like, but they see something that they liked, or they see something that got them wanting to stream, and that's how they think, oh, that's how streaming is. Dude, I hate to break it to you. There's a million different ways to stream, and like how we talked about in the beginning of the stream, I may not like the style that some people stream, but it doesn't mean that's not a way to stream. The same thing with content creation. There's a million ways to make content, and I may not like a lot of them.
I'll tell you right now, I tell everybody, I'm like, yo, my stream's not for everybody. I was like, I don't think you understand. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm telling you right now, we have these resources. These are yours. I'm like, would I like for you to come? Yes, we're trying to get verified. I'm telling you right now, my stream's not for everybody. And they're like, why? And I'm like, I smack my ass I jump around. I play hype music. I use my Go XLR to the max. I use strobe lights. I know I'm obnoxious when I'm on stream, but that is my persona on stream. And I try to tell every streamer, I was like, you don't have to fake your persona. Just know who you are, know how you genuinely want to be, and just intensify it. Because when you're on stream, it's just gonna get intensified. You're gonna get excited. You might be like, "Oh no, I gotta be stern faced." No, 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 no. If you get excited in real life and you yell, yell. If you don't yell. Be excited. Be like thankful, whatever it may be. But your persona when you come to streaming is supposed to be a little bit intensified because it's kind of like theater. If you think about it, right? Once you hit that live button, you're like, all right, cool. I'm going on stage. We're good to go. But it's easier when it is your persona. You know what I'm saying? I was like, people know me as being wild, crazy, obnoxious, like all this on stream. That's the part that I love about myself, right? I'm a child. I'm a grown ass man, but I'm a fucking child. And I live it, dude. I own it. I'm like, yes, this is me. But then, dude, I've seen people who are just very, very dry, stern, and they try to fake it. And I'm like, yo, that's not your style. We know it's not your style. Be you. If that's part of you that no one has ever seen, yeah, cool. Keep doing it. But if you're just faking it, you're gonna burn yourself out. Because there's gonna be a time where you're like, yo, I don't have the energy for it. I'll come in here, I'll be exhausted. Yeah, there's days I don't want to stream. Yeah, there's days I don't want to talk to anybody. My schedule is my job. Guess what? We're gonna do it, but it's easier to transition when it's actually you. People try to fake it so much, dude, to the point where I've literally gone to people's streams and they're like, "Cool, I got a sub." I don't say anything. They got a sub and they smack their ass. I'm like, I taught them that. It was like he was making fun of me for that, but now he's doing it. And then he'll be like, I'll type in there. I was like, "Oh, nice ice smack," and like cheer them on, get a sub, whatever it may be. And they're like, "Oh, you're not mad?" I was like, "Nah, man, do what you gotta do for your money. I don't care." I was like, if you can pull this off for so long, cool. I'm telling you right now, if that's not you, it's not gonna last long. It's not.
Absolutely.
Like imagine you smacking your ass. Would you do that?
I mean, for the right amount of money, yes. Someone come in here dropping $50 worth of whatever. I'll give him an ass smack. I'll fucking squat for them too at that fucking point. But if you ask generally, probably not, or unless depending on my mood. I think it also depends on my mood for me personally, because like I think I have moods where I'm like I'm chill. Sometimes I have moods where I'm like outspoken, where I'm like talking to people. I'm like this, and like I'm having an opinion. And there are moods where I'm just fucking wild and crazy. Like I was talking about like how like me personally, I'm not a fan of like hot tub streams or whatever. Like I respect the ladies doing the grind. If it's working for them and they have a genuine connection with their audience, cool. But there was a moment where I was like, you know what would be really funny? It would be really funny for me and my channel on my like anniversary of being on Twitch. I'm gonna do a hot tub stream. I pulled my PC into the bathroom. I did hot water into my bathtub. I dropped bath bombs. We had rubber duckies. I had a coconut bra and everything. We were fucking around because it was funny. It was entertaining. Like we were having fun with what the situation, the moment was.
Yeah.
But if someone's like, "Oh, do you hot tub stream every time?" I'm like, fuck no. First of all, I don't like having my shirt off, let alone being, vulnerable that way. I'll talk about my feelings 10 ways to Sunday, but while I'm here, I'm gonna just be me. And what me is being a funny guy, a genuine guy, a loving guy, and sometimes when needed, which I love it because it's coming with old age, just outspoken, don't give a fuck, and being straight up real. I used to be worried about pissing off the wrong people. Like, oh man, like I have this opinion, but it affected you, and I don't want it to affect you. I'm like, no, you know what? To be very fucking blunt, if it affects you, you probably fucking deserve it. Like I'll tell my friends, like if I say something and I say hey, don't do this because this is fucking cringe. I'm like, well, I do this. Still cringe. I love you, 100%. It's still fucking cringe, whether you like it or not. If you don't like me after that, that's on you. But I hope our friendship is not stopped at one bad take. Yeah. If a friendship is stopped at one bad take, that wasn't a friendship. That was just a long acquaintance.
Yeah.
And, and like I said, you're never gonna have people who always agree with you. But that's why I like what this whole podcast is about, is having those different opinions. Because I'm always going to have my opinions, and I'm going to be outspoken about my opinions. Sometimes, it may get me into hot water. Sometimes people will disagree or want to argue with me. I'll fucking talk about it all the way. You're good. But for me, chat, I think there's times where you need a filter, and there's times you don't need a filter. Oh my God, what the fuck is that?
I'm just like you, right? I speak my mind. So it has my name. It has my 3A because that's our Triple Alliance.
Hmm.
That was our logo. They got me this for my birthday. My birthday was April.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're always like, Delfino, you're always digging yourself into a hole. And then I'm like, I'm just speaking my mind. Like, what the hell? They're like, no, you speak your mind. They disagree, and then you try to say why your point of view is correct. I was like, yeah. I tell them why I think it's correct. Doesn't mean it is correct. I just say how I see it. And then they're like, yeah, but then they try to argue with you and you feed into it. I was like, yeah, because I'm not gonna make them look stupid. If it's a friend, I was like, I'm gonna make you look stupid. Right? If it's somebody I don't know, I'll just be like, all right, well, I can see it your way. But what about this? And then they're like,
What about this?
and then so they got me this for my birthday. They're like,
I love it.
dig yourself into a hole.
Listen, like for things that really don't matter, I don't care that people have a different opinion. Like if someone's like, "Oh, I'm Democrat," I'd be like, "All right, I don't fucking care. What do you believe in?" I believe every politician's a fucking liar and a scumbag. No, yeah. I'm like, listen, I don't really care about this thing that fucking much. It's just a personal opinion. But then when I talk about things like being genuine, they're like, "Well, this is a business." Like, yeah, do you imagine being genuine in a business? People fucking do that. Shocker, Map is a lot more than you fucking think. This is not Wolf of Wall Street where you're just stealing money from fucking rich, greedy bags. Like, yeah, that shit fucking happens. I'm not gonna lie. But people are genuine. Like the loving, genuine thing I love, and one of my favorite streamers that most people can't stand watch streaming is like Nick Merckx.
I love Nick Merckx.
Dude, I like some people can't stand Nick Merckx because he's just that outrageous personality, and I get that. Fuck it. I understand that. But the M-Fan community that he has built around, the fucking dude, he will fucking buy out and sell out a fucking baseball park and get people to come, get his streamer friends to come. He'll have a grill out cookout. He did it in Michigan. He does it in fucking Florida now. He is all out for the M-Fan team and M-Fan Gauntlet. Like, I fucking love that shit. Like, that man knew how he wanted to run his community, how he's doing the community, to where his people that he has on his staff for him are in his community, are from his community. The people that work for him, his assistants, his fucking mod team, his editors, from his community. And he's known them and grown them and got to know them. Even the people that have been like part-time hackers and have like gone to his streams and stream sniped him. He's met at these fucking things and they've built connections. Like, hey, like, listen, like, we're cool enough, but can you not like hack? I'm like, no, dude, I'll come into your games. And there's another hacker, I'm gonna go fucking after them. Like, that's not fucking cool. And they're like, imagine making friends with your mortal enemies. Like, just imagine that stuff.
That's kind of how we want to do things. That's why I love Nick Merckx. He's been like an inspiration for, I think, to a lot of people, dude. But the way he says things, the way he doesn't care, and when he's wrong, he just looks at the camera. He's like, "Yo, I fucked up. I'm not gonna tell anybody I fucked up." You know. And then he's genuine, dude. He really is. Like, look what he does. He brought his team up, and that's what I want to do with my team. I want to bring my team up.
I think like his bluntness is get passed away for the realness of what he is. Like, he talks the game and he walks the walk. Like, he doesn't mind like shilling out little fucking jokes here and there. He doesn't mind having his opinions shit out there. But even when he's wrong, he'll admit it. He'll take a time. He'll sit down. He'll have a general minute, and he'll move on. Because you know why? He understands that he can't stay being wrong. Because if he sticks in that mindset, if he sticks to just being in that the wrong mindset about being wrong, he's gonna get stuck and he's never gonna grow again. He realizes you're always gonna be wrong because you're not perfect. You're not
100%
exactly X, Y, and Z, and that's the craziness about what's going on. Is that that's why I love being real. That's why I love being bold and all that. Like, I have moments where I'm like, oh, I don't really know if I should tweet about this. And what's really funny is that like I'll see somebody else tweet it later, and they'll say this outspoken opinion on my mind, and I'll just be like in their comments like, you just read my fucking mind. I fucking hate you right now, first of all. But
do your thing.
No, no, you're good. Playtown, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it, homie. Thank you for the 20 viewers. Welcome in. We're having a discussion about everything and anything under the rainbow. Playtown, I love you. C3, I did see those emotes. You Sussy Baka, I fucking love you. We'll talk about that later. But back to what we're talking about is just like, why is it so hard to be genuine? And like how we talked about with the people who may be like the two-faced Harvey Dents in life in streaming world, it sucks because when people try to be genuine on Twitter now, or genuine in general, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, when there's always an issue or when there's always something going wrong, with a certain aspect, let's say it's giveaways, or let's say it's hosting channels, or want to do something nice for the people that helped you get to where you were. As soon as there's one bad egg in that batch, it gives you a bad taste about every other egg. Like when you see moldy bread, most people will just throw away the whole bread because it's all contaminated.
I do say that I'm out of here. I know.
Like me, I'm a little poor kid at heart, so I'll just think, yank. Like anymore? No. All right, let's keep going. But
the hospital bills gonna be worse than that bread.
No, but you might be right. But like I said, that one bad egg ruins it for everybody else. And then like, so when someone's like, I'm doing a giveaway, I'm like sitting there in my thing, like, listen, I know this person's genuine, but the thing that they're doing and what I just saw earlier, I'm like, fuck, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And like, I've been having to learn to control my tongue because I'm like, please don't do this, please don't do this, please don't do this. But that's just me because of how I see it. But I know
this you all.
Yeah, it's like, but like I said, I know people are doing it from the goodness of their heart sometimes. Like I said, there's no issue with giveaways. But when I see people like with like the Two-Face Harvey Dents doing these giveaways and they're just doing it the clout chase, and I see like my friends or people that I support doing it, I'm like, I don't want to be that bum rusher because I know they're doing it from the goodness of their heart. And if I keep being a bum rusher to anybody that does a giveaway, if I keep being a bum rusher that like anybody that does like, I want to host people, I want to do this, I feel horrible because that stops them from being for the community that they want to be a part of. Like, I have to take moments where I'm sitting aside to myself and I'm like looking at my phone or on my computer. I'm like, fuck, I just need to shut the fuck up right now because I know this person is genuine. Like, I can have my...
Think about this way also. Is it effective and is it genuine, right? You say it's genuine. Is it effective?
What do you mean by effective?
Is it working towards what their goals are?
It depends what like I said, that depends on what their goals are. If their goal is just to give back to the community, they're going to do it regardless. So like, but I don't want to say something and then they stop the giveaway because they feel bad for giving away or hosting or whatever. So if it stops them from being affected by being genuine, then yeah, it is. But at the same time,
put it this way, right?
You're always going to put it right? You're always going to put it this way, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, this is why we had these conversations.
Exactly. Like I need to be challenged. I like this.
So, are people going to host and raid regardless?
Yes.
We live in an era where content and attention is king, right? I tell everybody content. You can't be a streamer without making content, but you can be a content creator without streaming. I tell everyone, document everything you do. You don't know what video is going to go viral. You don't know what's going to hit. You don't know what's going to inspire people. You don't know what's going to connect with people. You might think it's the greatest video and it goes very, very bad. Or you can have the shittiest video that you think you made and it goes crazy. Dude. When it comes down to content, it's a lot of, obviously quality has to be there to a certain extent, but also the information and the quantity. If you only post one video every year, you're not going to go viral.
No.
But you post 2, 3 every single day for a year long, yes. So why not use everything you're doing, right? Document your lifestyle. Hey, I get up at this time, I do this. Hey, do this when I'm doing this. Hey, I just raised out to this person, I'm doing this. Why not just throw it out there? You never know what's going to lead to.
Absolutely.
And that's where, like, I believe because of social media, I don't think it's bad. I genuinely don't.
Right.
People's like, social media did this, and this. So I was like, okay, cool. What did we have back in the day? We didn't have phones. Cool. We had newspapers. Oh my God. Before that, we had the radio. Before that, what did we have? We had other forms of communication. The form of communication has just become very, very efficient. You blaming technology, you blaming social media is outrageous. All these things would have happened regardless. They probably were happening. We just didn't know it. We weren't communicating to each other about it because we didn't have any forms of way of doing it. I think, and I personally, and I will die on this hill, social media has just exposed all of us. That's all I think it is. I think social media exposes us. If you're a shitty person, you're going to be a shitty person on social media. If you're a genuine person, you're going to be a genuine person on social media. Yeah, will you come off genuine at one point and then your shittiness will come out? Yes, because I only think about 3 months you can wear that mask. And if you can put it on longer, congratulations. You are the most terrible person out there because
you should be an actor. Yeah, you should be an actor at that point. If you could fake being genuine for that long, goddamn it, you should be a fucking actor.
Yeah,
one of those.
But but we both can agree content is king. You
Mm-hmm.
need to post out as much content as you can. So when I
Mm-hmm.
see people rating out, I don't think it's bad. I'm like, yo, look at their accomplishments. They have this many people in there, and they rate it out. Yeah, are
Mm-hmm.
they doing it for their own content as well? Like they bring more people to them, 100%. But everything you do has a consequence. It can be positive or negative,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the positive is you bring more people to you. The negative, people are going to bash you for it. But imagine you, right? You have, because Nick Merckx has done this before. He's posted he's had 100 something viewers back when he only had 100. He's like, yo, this is crazy. We finally broke 100. He is documenting. And
Mm-hmm.
everything you do, imagine when you have kids, wouldn't you want them to be like, yo, this is me? Not just tell them stories, but show them who you were. And because you have it all documented, you have videos of it. Yeah, they might be polished, but you can tell them, like, this is what I did. Grab their attention. You have your grandchildren, be like, this is what I did. So, oh, let me see more. Tell me about that story. That's when you connect. You see what I'm saying?
Dude,
So
exactly.
I think documenting everything you do is great. I wish I had a cameraman following me around. The things you would see.
I don't. Not especially not late at night when I'm by myself. Please, God, no.
See? But I live my life in a way where Joe Rogan said it best. Live your life like if there's a camera crew following you around.
Absolutely. And I think that just comes with just being open. Like I said, and we talked in our private call like last week or 2 weeks ago about fear. People get put in these fear boxes and they have to either put on this impression of somebody, they have to do X, Y, and Z, or they're afraid to do this, so they can't really live up to their full potential and all that. That also translates to just everything in life, not just streaming and content creation, but it relates to everything. People are afraid of being judged. They're afraid of not fitting in. They're afraid of X, Y, Z. There's a million reasons why someone can be afraid. And that's such a rough thing, because instead of just being, because I feel like when it comes to being afraid, you get put into like two options that they think they're in, right? There's a million things you could do if you're afraid, but they put themselves into two options. They either are so afraid in one that they just don't even fucking do it, or they try, or they try to impersonate somebody else or impersonate this thing and fake it till you make it, and then when they get caught, they're like, and try to excuse their way out. I think there's like some instance where you could fake it till you make it, but you really got to work on yourself. Like if you're having a rough day, I'm not gonna say like stay rough, but like try smiling. It's proven that if you try smiling, it actually builds up a smile and a good attitude. Like it may be hard if you're heavy depressed. I should know. I tried that this week, but it makes like, I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, I'm fucking peachy kino, life's great. No, I was fucking depressed. I was in my mind. I was insecure. Yeah. But it gets to a point where the people get these fears in their lives that it just stops them from doing anything. It stops them from big content creating. It stops them from streaming. It stops them from doing nice things for the community. It stops them from reaching out to people. It stops them from building connections. And sometimes, like, it sucks. Like, I hate seeing people get so stuck in these fears that they don't want to do what they feel like they want to do, or try passions, or at the most be the real authentic versions of themselves. Like, this goes past just fucking content creation. This is real life. Like, I don't want someone trying to fake around me just to please me, just to be a friend of mine. Like, you want to be a friend of mine, be real. And if at the end of the day, if we just don't mesh, we just don't mesh. But don't fake being my friend, and don't fake being who you are just to be around people. Like, it's not fucking worth it. And like I said, people are petty. So if you fuck over the wrong person with the wrong audience, you're gonna get fucked on a global scale. Like, social media is a deadly weapon. You fuck off the wrong people, you're gonna get fucked and burned on a global scale. And like, some people are diehard petty, and they're like, if I found out you're fake, you're fucking over people, you're doing this, I'm gonna fucking call you out as many times as I can on Twitter, on social media, and all that. And people are gonna see that shit. Like I said, when you document everything, you'll have evidence. You're like, here's what they did. Here's them lying. Here's them scamming people. Here's them being a fucking asshole. Here's them being manipulative. People are going to see that, and people are going to like, oh man, these are like, there's my haters. Like, no, these are people who have seen the fakeness of who you are. These are the people who've seen you remove your fucking Phantom of the Opera mask and seen the fucking like scales behind that shit. Yeah. But that comes from just being fake. Just be real. You know what happens when you be real? people who are also real are going to see that and want to be around that. People that like what you like to do as being real are going to see that and want to be around that. Like you
What
can
does
put
that come with?
responsibility.
No, just not being afraid. Don't
True.
let fear be the person that. So I view things very, very differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look at it as, okay, if someone controls my emotions, they are my master.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, anybody who can control my emotions, they are the master of me.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's in control of my emotions?
You.
Who's in control of how I act?
You.
So why would I give someone that power to control my emotions? So when it comes to fear, fear is an emotion. Why would I let the fear of being judged? Why would I let the fear of someone calling me something? Why would I let the fear of possibly failing be the reason I don't do something that I want to do?
Because you're not trying to impress you, you're trying to impress others.
But why would you try to do that?
Because you don't like yourself. I mean, that's half the time why I do it. I'm kidding. No,
But
I mean,
like, don't do that. Guess what? That's what I'm saying, dude. It's
yeah.
so easy. It's like, think about this way, right? I'm very, very confident. Don't get me wrong. I'm fucking obnoxiously confident. I get this about myself, but it comes with a justification, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? You said you're depressed, and I do believe in depression. I genuinely do. I come from the medical background. There is physiological morphations that go in the brain that occur
Mm-hmm.
when depressions occur, especially with the chemical compounds and the neurotransmitters that are in there and the receptors. But at the end of the day, I truly believe, whether it be the help with medication or with the help of like a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or a
Mm-hmm.
therapist, I do believe, let's put you for example, right? I believe you have the power to overcome it. Just think about it this way. Not everybody is willing to do what you're doing right now. Not everyone's willing to put themselves on camera, go stream, go do these, answer these tough questions, reach out to people they don't even know. I think that's a lot harder than what you really, really give yourself credit for.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is hard. You're putting yourself out there. So in my head, I see it as like this man has the ability and the power to push through anything. Because one of the biggest fears, and I've asked many people this, and it's been proven, people who come back from war said, I'd rather go fight than do participate in public speaking. This is
Mm-hmm.
public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing things that even soldiers don't want to do. They're terrified of it. So if you can do something that a soldier isn't able to do, you're not giving yourself enough credit when it comes to like what you actually do, controlling your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Controlling how you feel. Like, yeah, there's gonna be moments. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not putting it down.
Mm-hmm.
But I truly believe you are stronger than you actually think you are. I truly believe you have the power, the ability, and the resources to pull yourself out of each funk. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There comes a time and place where I think you're gonna hit that part where you're gonna be like, look what I have done. That's why I told you, write down the things you've accomplished. Because when you see what you've accomplished, even with this mindset, imagine when you change it just a little bit, little by little, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you have the power to do it. I think you have every ability to make it here on Kick, wherever you want to do, whether it be just podcasts or whether it be streaming, because of what you've shown me so far. And you're doing things that people will dream of doing, but never have the balls to actually do it. And that's why I respect you a lot, dude. When I saw that tweet, I'm going in there. That man has balls. Because not everybody does that shit, dude. And I can tell you right now, not everyone does it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it.
I appreciate that, and I think I one of these you'll find about me. I hate tooting my own horn, and I'm starting to learn to like be appropriate with my like being proud of myself, but not like boast about myself. So one of the things I was like when you were talking about that was that like I think one of the reasons why I'm not so much afraid, like because like I was afraid. I didn't think like my biggest fear was that nobody would want to be a part of this or no one would want to try. I wasn't ready to see the recognition I got to the point where I was like. I was expecting like a few friends to be like pity, like, oh, hey, let's do this. And even my friends were like, hey, if no one was going to say anything, I would have definitely been on your podcast. Like, hey, I appreciate that. That means more than you actually know. But I think it's one of the things where like I've taken so many risks that I've learned nowadays it's worth to take the shot than to not take the shot at all. Because what happens if you take the shot and you miss? You miss. All right, well, you wait for the next opportunity. What happens if you take the shot or you don't take the shot and it was something that could have been so life-changing, transforming for you or for others or for whatever what you're trying to do that you're just not ready for? I can get ready for change. I can't get ready for missing an opportunity. And like I said, if I burn bridges because of what I say or how I say it, I understand. It happens. I understand that I'm not, the hardest lesson I think I've learned next to, I can't control how others feel about me, is I should not be afraid of who I am. I should not be afraid of making these risky moves, of trying to grow and all that. Because here's the thing. The only thing someone's going to fight me is that, like, they're either going to say, oh, you either are not big enough, or they're going to say, or you didn't try. I don't care if I'm not big enough, because here's the thing. I'm going to do what I want to do. Mm-hmm. Growth will come, because I genuinely believe when people see the realness in me and how I act, not only on stream, on social media, but also off stream, in the DMs, in the personal times I take, they'll know that I'm real and genuine. They're going to want to support me or be around to see what happens next. Yes. That's the realness. And I think that needs to be, that was the forefront of my mind. Because here's the thing, like I said, it's scary to take risks. Like, I have my friend Martina that, like, I think is fucking hysterical and would be great with, like, content creation or streaming or even just playing games with other people. But she's too afraid because she's like, I don't want people seeing me. I don't want to do this. I have too much pressure. I'm like, hey, I get it. Trust me, I do. When I first started streaming, I had that same pressure because I had no one to really talk to. I had no one to really grow. And that's why I like doing these things now. And that's like I said, I like even doing things without even fucking saying it. Like, yeah. But like I don't like. Here's the thing. If you want to talk about the things you do for the community, I have no issue with that. But like I said, it's one of those things where, like, I see people doing it and they do it out of the badness of their intentions because they're only clout farming or growing. And then there's people like that I know that are genuine that do it because they want to get back to the community. Like, people are going to learn to decipher the two, whether it's the hard way in 3 months or the easy way by going through these kind of experiences. But at the same time, I'll explain what happened in the last podcast, but, like, I love doing things behind the scenes because I don't care if people know what I do behind these scenes. I do it because I care about people. Like, I don't go out and, like, give you fucking compliments and tell you how great you're doing today because I want people to know that I say nice things to you. I do this because I genuinely think you're a fucking beautiful human being and I want people to know that I love you. Like, you don't see me go like, hey, by the way, come to my stream. Hey, by the way, do this. But hey, by the way, do that. Like, or why do you never hear? I don't fucking care. The greatest tip that I want to start implementing into my own personal thing is that in the last podcast with Vitric, we talked about being known for doing good deeds. And not like in the sense of like, hey, I gifted 50 subs to these small streamers. Like, that's a different conversation. He got to a point where, like, he had some opportunities where he wanted to give subs to people and all that. So he was giving subs to people, whether it was 1, whether it was 5, whether it was whatever. And people in Twitter were doing what they thought was the nice enough of their heart. They're like, hey, I want to give a shout out to these people for gifting me subs. You know, I really appreciate their generosity. So it's like, cool. You know, someone shoots you out, they get a little bit of attention, you know, cool. But what happens when you start doing it over multiple streams, over multiple people that you support? And they all do the same style. They shout out the people that give you support. They shout out this, they do that. Now you're going to be known through social media. Well, I should say, you know, you have this unfortunate realization of opportunity where people are going to see you as somebody who gives subs all the time. Yes. Now that comes an issue. Now people are going to start seeing you as a sub gifter or someone who will give subs to whatever. Okay, well, now people start following you, maybe some people, whatever. And then you get this unrealistic view from people that think that you're just there to gift them subs when that's not the case. So when he starts doing it, yeah.
Well, how is that different than Mr. Beast and David Dobrik?
It's not, and that's what I'm trying to get to you is like something that he does personally that I like is that when someone gives him subs, he DMs them personally on Twitter if they have a Twitter or tries to find some way to connect with them as best he can and say, hey, I appreciate your support for what's going on. Like, thank you for supporting me and the channel or whatever. And I like that because here's the thing. I love people who want to support the channel, who maybe follow, who maybe give subs or raids or whatever. I don't see anything wrong with like being thankful for that. But I don't want to give a guilty impression that anytime this person raids out, they're going to get a free gift sub or whatever. I think there's a genuine way to give, compliment, and thank somebody in a DM versus like shouting them out. And there's nothing wrong, like I said, with shouting them out. You can do that all you want. But when he got to a point where people were coming to his channel thinking that, well, everybody shot you out for gifting subs, I can get subs from you too. Like, what's going on? Like, am I not going to get a sub for this? Like, no, that's not why I give subs. I give subs to people that I want to support. I like the content. I want to show them some charitable donation, or I want to give them support or whatever. Like, I have no issue with that. But now they have this representation of this. Because
that's only one person. There might be a few. But at the end of the day, can you control people's point of view?
No, you can't control people's point of view. But if you have the ability to stop people from try to misbehaving how people think, I think there's an opportunity for that. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with shouting out your friends, but there's also that risk that with the more that happens, they might have a wrong representation. Now, I can never stop somebody from, like, if I give this up to my friend Playtown and she goes, hey, you know, thank Meme Daddy for the sub or Meme for the sub. Cool. And someone comes to my chat like, well, you give Playtown a sub. Why don't you give me a sub? I don't fucking know you.
But who's that on? Who's so that's where I'm going to disagree with you.
Go.
The reason why is like I've done that before, so I'm guilty of like saying, "Hey, here you go." Someone shouted me, someone gave me a love and said, "Hey, thank you for the sub, thank you for the raid, whatever it may be." Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're just showing publicly, like, "Hey, this person did this for me." Right?
Right.
How people interpret it over a period of time is not on the content creator.
No.
It's on the people who interpret the negative way. If someone comes into my chat and says, hey, I heard you raid out to everybody or you give subs to everybody you raid out to, I'll be like, nah. And be like, I raid out. I was like, if I gift subs, I give subs. But I can't not do something that I like doing because it might look negative or somebody might take it the wrong way or there's going to be foolish people that come into chat. Because guess what? I'm letting them win now. Guess who suffers?
You.
The lawyer community.
Mm-hmm.
The people who we raid out to, the people who we give sub to, those are the people that suffer. Not the people that come in here saying, oh, where's my gifted sub? Because if they come in there, I'll be like, yo, you can kiss my ass. You can lick the back of my nutsack. I don't give a shit. Right?
And see, that's where I come back from, like, my personal back. It's like, I still learn to just not give a fuck. And like I said, with time ages, like a fine wine at this year, this is probably one of my favorite years of not giving a fuck. I'm learning that. And that's something is still a hard thing for me to learn. Because here's the thing. My natural tendency is to love the people that show me genuine love back.
That's fair.
And like, if I know that this could possibly lead to something down the line of them getting misconstrued, I don't want them dealing with that headache. But at the same time,
why not?
What, you don't want me seeing my friends deal with the headache of someone coming to chat like, oh, I heard you give subs, give me a sub, and they have to deal with somebody fucking stupid in their chat? Of course I don't, because I don't want them to deal with that shit. Because I know
fine.
That's what I'm saying is that I know that
as an opportunity though. Look at it as an opportunity for your buddy to show how he handles issues. Instead of you looking at it as like, hey, it can be a headache, be like, yo, can my buddy handle the situation?
Yeah.
How did he handle it? It's an opportunity for growth.
It's okay. You're not wrong. It is an opportunity to learn something and growth and just stand up for yourselves and all that. But I think at the same time as a business, like it's like I said, it's a dual-edged sword. You know what I mean? It's like there's good and bad with anything. There's good and bad with what you do. You can never stop somebody from thinking a certain way about a certain thing. Yes. Like you can always try to convince their minds, but if they're hard stuck, they're hard stuck. But the only thing you can do is, and what you control is what you do, what you say, your actions, your words, anything that just involves you. But now, like I said, that also applies to your experiences. Like, I'm not going to tell you to go stream if I know there's a bad experiences with, let's say, like older content creators, Hispanic content creators. Like, if I've seen only bad interactions with people getting harassed and racism, and I don't like, as much as I know they're a strong-willed person, enough of that will burn somebody out. I think there are people who have strong. I think there's enough people that have strong wills that can be like, go fuck yourself, like adios. But at the same time, like, we're only pulling the perspective of just one person.
I I agree.
And like I said, one bad interaction leads to bad things for people long down the road. Like I don't know if you want to talk about this in what we talked about private call, but that one person who was viewing your stream for months who didn't say anything because of fear, they just want to see who you really were. That kind of
fine.
No, so that kind of fear box is still applies to those people. Like in the moment, they can handle it, but then later on, they're like, "Man, I don't really want to post on Twitter anymore. Man, I don't want to post out shout outs because I don't want somebody going through this." But like,
Okay, now why? Why? You just said it.
Because it's fear. But like I said, okay, hold on. Hear me out. Just because we agreed with fear, hear me out. Okay, give me a second. There's a difference between fear for yourself and fear for others. And like I said, I don't have an issue with my friends going through hard times and me being there for them and supporting them. I think that's just genuine friendship. Chat, Hear that. That's friendship. I care about my friends. But if there's an opportunity for me to help try to prevent a hardship with either a life lesson or being there for somebody or trying to prevent something, I'm not going to stop there and be like, hey, I've been through this. Here's the example of X, Y, and Z. If you want to go through it, that's on you. But if I can stop something from stupid from happening, I'm going to try something stupid. But like I said, that's that give and take of risk. I think there's a level of fear and risk that there's this gray area that everybody has different. Because like I said, if you never experienced a bad thing about X, Y, and Z, you're not gonna either know. Either you're an overthinker or you're an underthinker, and you're gonna learn one way or another. And sometimes you have good interactions that make you want to do more. Sometimes you have a bad first reaction, it'll make you never want to do it again. But that all depends on your personal experiences, your level of risk, and your level of fear. And that's why I think like having these genuine people in your community who will be there to support you, I think there's a level of support where like if someone thinks that something might be a little bit off, or think it's like not a good idea, I would want them to speak up. So if I say something like, hey guys, I'm starting a car company. I'm going to build my own cars. And if 9 people out of the 10 people are like, that's great. And one person's like, do you even know how to fucking build a car? I'd be like, no. They're like, hey, I'm not going to be a dick, but I'm going to be a dick. You probably shouldn't do that unless you know how to build a car.
I don't agree with you there. Even with that analogy, look at Ford.
Ford had a team of people who knew how to build cars.
Did Ford know how to do it?
Ford himself didn't know, but let's say let's just say it's just me. Let's say I'm building my own body shop.
You never do anything alone though in this world. You always find people to help you out, even with streaming. Do I know how to make emotes? No. Hold on.
Wait. Can you say that one thing about being alone? Can you repeat that for a second for the chat?
You can't do everything alone. You can't.
Oh, hold on, chat. I need you to fucking hear that one more time.
You can't do it alone.
Thank you. Holy shit. How many times do I have to tell that to people?
Look at Ford. How did he build his empire?
He got people around him who knew either what they were doing or trying to know what they're doing to do big things.
When there were people investing in Ford, his investors came to his office. They came to his whole warehouse and everything. They said, hey, how do you build an engine? He picked up the phone and said, come here, I need you. Put the phone down. He's like, who'd you call? He's like, I'll call the engineer. He knows how to do it. He'll explain to you. Like, okay. How is everything managed here? Cool. Head supervisor, I need you here right now. Cool. He's like, why'd you call him? He's like, because he can explain that. He's like, okay, how's the marketing being handled? Calls the marketing officer. I need you to explain that. The CEO is very, very smart because guess what? He knows where his limits are. He knows where he specializes in.
Yes.
He doesn't need to know everything. Ford didn't know how to build an engine. He had the idea and the creativity of like, hey, if I get these people together and we come together and do all this together, we can make a car.
And here's the thing. I love your analogy, but I'm going to fight you on this one right now because here's the thing. Here's the thing. He had optimism and a lack of fear and a dream he really wanted to believe in. Now, here's
everybody?
No. Some people have no. Seriously, here's the thing. I'm not saying people don't have dreams they don't believe in. Let me clarify that. I think there is a level of risk, fear that people will always have when it comes to anything. Like Elon Musk with SpaceX, buying Twitter, starting PayPal, which most people don't fucking know. He also started the company that made Chat GPI. People who don't fucking know that. But he has an outwilling over optimism because he has taken the time to have connections or built things to have where those small risks that he took chances on gave him confidence to take bigger risks to get rid of those fears. And now, like I said, those, like, remember how we talk about when people who have bad interactions will stop them because of fear. That one interaction will make a difference, and that'll stop them from doing more things until later on, till they heal, till they grow, take a little bit more of a smaller risk, get some confidence. Risk, confidence, risk, confidence. And sometimes risk will knock you back, but with enough confidence, experiences, you'll get there. Like I think Henry Ford, when he was making Ford, had enough of those confidence and experience, or as I like to say, guts and, like, you know, inner whatever. I forgot, like, my mom has a word for it, but I forget what it's called. But it's like just the inner, like, oomph to keep going, keep doing things like that, and have those connections and reach out to people and say these kind of ideas. But not everybody is at that level. That's the thing. Let me ask you
this. Remember when we started this conversation, I said I'm blessed because of why?
Because you live in America, you be able to breathe, you have people around you that support you.
No. When we were talking this conversation, I said I am more blessed than the people who inherited the money.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've gone through all the hardships. I've gone through so many hardships in life that's made me to where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can look back and say I made it through all that crap.
So then, so then, tell me this. Even if you have the opportunity to stop a hardship from a friend, a family member, or whatever, are you going to stop that hardship, or are you going to let them go through it for the life lesson?
I will give them advice, but I will never stop them.
Okay.
There are things men and females need to go through, because I can't just say man and female. The word man just came out. Mm-hmm. I think humans need to go through hardships in order to build their character, right?
Because that's what made us. Hardships, life lessons, learning stuff. And I think that's the hard part for me. And I'm a very selfless person, so I've been through a lot of hardships to the point where, like, and I'll talk about this, I almost ended my own life through these hardships that I would never want to wish on anybody, because it's so dark, and I don't know anybody's level of strength. And like how you talked about earlier, everybody has the strength to get through these, and everybody has the mentality to get through, but it's so hard if you haven't been through these hardships. It's so hard if you haven't been through these experiences, or you don't have that mental power or that support. So, like, if I don't know somebody's support network, I don't know somebody's mental stability, I don't know somebody's XYZ, I fear the worst for them.
You shouldn't fear the worst for them, because if you know them as a friend, you know their abilities, right? At that point, you have to be, as a friend, I believe that you can handle this, right? But yeah, there's always going to be that fear. Have you ever spent time in the hospice?
Yes.
You see, like, all the old people, and they're like about to terminal and all that. Have you ever sat down and talked to them, had real conversations with them?
I actually have a few of them.
Have you ever asked them, what are your biggest regrets?
Actually, I don't think I ever have.
I spent a year working in hospice. For that entire year, every single year, I asked them, hey, what is your biggest regrets in life? Because I come from a Mexican household where we respect our elders, and we do believe they have more experiences than us, and we should learn from them, right?
Right.
And they always said, I wish I didn't care as much for what people thought. I wish I did more things that would make me happy. I wish I took more risks.
God, that sounds like me right now. What the fuck?
Guess what? A year of hearing that from every single one of them literally put something in my head. I was like, yo, I've been through a lot of shit. Let's take more risks. Let's just do it. What's the worst that could happen?
I love that.
Cool. You fail.
Yeah.
I don't want to be those people when I'm 80, 90, 100, whatever the age it may be in the future. I don't want to be them. And I told them, I was like, yo, I don't want to be you. And they're like, old? I was like, no, I don't want to live here in my deathbed with regrets. So every single day I do something, there might be fear, there might be anxiety, there might be something. But my emotions, regardless of what they're at, I'm going to get something done. Absolutely. I'm not going to let that fear be like, hey, don't post this video. Hey, don't post this tweet. Hey, don't do that. Because I know that in 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, I'm going to regret it. We don't know the possibilities that could bring. So with that being said, dude, I'm like, that's where I'm like, I don't care if people don't like it. I don't care if it doesn't do well. We'll do it again tomorrow. tomorrow. And that's where tenacity comes into play. How resilient are you? How fast can you bounce back from failures? Right. So I agree. You have to bounce back. Dude, that's what resilience is. How resilient are you? Right. You can't spend 3 months in bed doing nothing.
I mean, I could, but that's a different story.
Yeah, but like, let's say you have a failure. Let's say Kick, right? Fails. What are you gonna do tomorrow? Let's say tonight they shut down Kick. What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm gonna find a way to go to a different platform and do other things.
Exactly.
Like it's good. Yeah. I think in resilience there's a moment where you can agree that whatever situation you're going through sucks. There's no denying that something sucks. But staying in the mentality that this sucks is gonna get you nowhere. You gotta kind of pick yourself up in order. There's a time to mourn. There's a time to be realistic with what's going on. But there's you gotta pick yourself back up.
Yes, exactly. So that's where I think we agree in a lot of things. But I do believe failure is at the core of people not doing something, right?
And that's funny because like how we talk about it, I agree as well, but I'm also in that selfless mindset that I love my friends so much that I never want to see them go through heartaches, never want to see them go through these hardships and all that. But at the same time,
question when you're done with that, I'm gonna ask you a tough question, and I hope you answer it honestly.
I hate you for these tough questions because I know you hate me too. Because I hate you too. I hate it because, like I said, I don't want to see them go through that. But like I said, I'm also learning how to get over those kind of hardships myself, and I know that, like I said, these life lessons are what made me me, and made me the character that I am today, which is the genuineness of who I am. But at the same time, I have this overprotective love for people. And that just comes from knowing what the hurt's like and never want to see people through it. And like there's that twofold double-edged sword. I could protect my friends as best I can with everything in their life, but they're never gonna learn and grow and never be successful. It's like practicing for the baseball game that you're never gonna play.
Exactly.
And at the same time, if I make them strike out, if I make them, get out stealing second base, they're gonna learn to play better. They're gonna learn to do better. They're gonna grow. So you go ahead and ask your tough question.
Before I ask, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we agree to the point where it's like we don't want to see our friends get hurt. We want to give them the advice, right? I'm at the point where I'm like, I can't force you to not make that decision. You will try everything in your power to make them not do that decision, right? Because you've seen what happens. But it doesn't. It's like gambling. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, right? Let me ask you this question though. Is it really selfless when you say, I don't want to see my friends go through that? Is it because you don't want to see them go through that? Or is it selfish because you don't want to be put in a situation where you feel bad for them?
See, that's a tough question to answer because I think it depends on the person's heart.
I'm asking you though.
For me, like, are you asking? And like, if you're asking me, if it's selfless of me, if from stopping my friends from going through heartaches, or is it selfish because I don't want to deal with it? For me,
you don't want to deal with the emotions it's going to cause you.
No. Okay, so I get what you're saying. If you're asking me that question, for me, generally, it's selfless because I don't mind being with somebody through that emotion. Because when I was going through these kind of hard times, I knew there was times where I wanted to be alone, but there's times where I really needed people by my side. Yes. And that's the kind of person I want to be. Is that I know there's times where you want to be alone, to kind of sulk, to kind of go through those hard emotions, those hard feelings, because it grows you. But at the same time, I've always wanted to be someone who was there for me during the hardest moments where I felt like I had no friends, I had no family, I had no one that loved or cared about me. But yet, like, I get what you're saying is that, like, some people don't want to see their friends get hurt because that involves another emotional investment to them, emotional tie to them. Because here's the thing, some people's hurts are not temporary. Some people's hurts are a long time thing. And it sucks because some things may be hidden in the woodworks of the webs of shadows of life, and you may not see it ever. They may be holding on to so much fucking baggage, but you never see it at the baggage claim. And then something fucking snaps and happens. You can't control. And then all this baggage...
I'm going to ask you another question on top of that. You not want them to go through that because you don't believe that they can handle it?
I don't think it's it depends on the person. Okay, I'll be honest, it depends on the person. Most people that I don't want to see get hurt is not because I don't think they can go through it, it's because I just don't want to see them struggle. Not because they don't deserve them. It's not that I don't trust them that they can't get out of the struggle. It's the fact that I don't think anybody wants to see anybody get hurt. I think that's just a general thing when you have care and love
Okay.
for somebody. Like,
Okay.
if I saw you get your heart broken, I would love to not see you get your heart broken. And
Of
then
course.
and if I see you like struggling with like depression or struggling with your self-worth, I would never want to see that. I think you're a sexy motherfucker, and I don't want I don't want anybody ever telling you that you're not. You have a beautiful fucking smile and a laugh that fucking is
thank you.
contagious. But that's the thing, is that like it's that double-edged sword where it's like, I know in my heart it's because I don't want to see the hurt, because I know what that's like. And from my point of view, it sucks, but it also is what made me to the character I am today. It's that motherly
Exactly.
it's like mothers and fathers caring for the children. Like,
I was just gonna ask you that. Yes.
it's a motherly parently instinct that you don't want to see your children get hurt. You don't want to see them scrape their knees. You don't want to see them get rejected from asking somebody out, because you know what that's fucking like, and it fucking sucks.
Yes, but
But
guess
at
what?
the same time, it's the same thing that made you want to protect those people in the first place. You know it sucks. But without that suckage part in life, it doesn't grow you to the person you are today. It doesn't give you those experiences in life that tells you what failure's like, that tells you what reject's like, tells you what not being loved is like, to where it's like, I can't stop somebody from going through those.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hard part in life, where I had to realize that I can't control every aspect of life as much as I fucking wish. I can't. I will never have that ability. But at the same time, there's that counter-soured argument where it's like, if I can make my friend's life just a little bit easier, enjoyable, in my control, I want to do it. But like I said, that's where, to a certain, yeah, obviously, I'm not gonna give my entire life savings to somebody if they fucked up their finances. I'm gonna be like, you need to go talk to a fucking accountant.
Exactly. So I'm gonna tell you two things real quick. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever touched the stove when you were younger?
Yes, and that shit fucking sucked.
Yes. Did your mom tell you don't do it?
Probably, and I'm gonna be honest, yes.
Yeah, and then you probably still did it anyways.
Yeah.
At first, because I've done it a couple times. I'm a fucking dumbass, so I learned things the hard way.
Yeah, same.
The first time I'm like, touched it, cried. She was there. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah blah blah. I should pay more attention. After like the 5th or 6th or 7th time I did it, my mom was like, you're a dumbass. Dude, I've done it. I did it this weekend. I was like, Mom, remember when I did this? She's like, you're gonna burn yourself. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I didn't see that it turned red, and I hit it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, because you get curious. You're like, oh, I wonder how high is that really? Yeah, no, I could do.
She was trying to protect me, but she's like, don't do it.
She tried to give you the easy life lesson, but at the very end of the day, you took the hard one.
Exactly.
Hey, be glad you learned it when you were a kid and not as a 20-year-old touching the stove again. But no, I get where you're coming from, and like I said, it's that mixed emotion, that motherly, fatherly instinct that we don't want to see people get hurt because we've been through. But at the same time, those hurts are what build those characters that make you want to learn and grow. But we're not going to go into this right now because Chad has questions. But at the same time, those characteristics and all that, those instances, may not be those good examples. They might be what makes the person the shitty human beings that we have now today.
That's kind of wild to say, though. That's kind of wild.
Because here's the thing. You know what fucks somebody over? Hardships. Because not everybody has the mentality of, I have to get out of here because I want to get better. Some people just have the mentality, I have to get out of here, or they don't have the help they need because they have the wrong mentality. Like when my parents were struggling for finances and we couldn't even afford our home anymore, like when I was younger, I was like, why did nobody fucking help us? Why did nobody fucking help us? Like, what's this community shit? And this is when I was going to church and all that. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad that people can give their food and all that, but like, we need to save our house, and we had to move into a shitty apartment and all that. And like, instead of counting my blessing, like I've been able to have a place to live, it was like, why did nobody help us? Why did nobody do this? Why did nobody do that? And it kind of turned like a sour taste in my mouth because of the wrong mentality and the wrong perspective of how this is. And like I said, those shitty life things make people sometimes be shitty human beings because they like, well, I had to go through this. It don't fucking matter. I'm just here for the money. Like, as much, like I said, and like, it's not that I'm afraid that my friends are going to be shitty after a fucking shitty life lesson, because if they are, it's what fucking happens. I can't stop them from being who they are. But
let me ask you this, though. Can we both agree that there are shitty people and then there's good people out here?
Oh, absolutely.
So I genuinely think that shitty people are going to do shitty things regardless if they have a good life or a bad life. I think the good people are going to find a way to go through the struggles, learn from them, and push forward.
How
That's the
about I,
that's the
I
thing.
agree. So let me see if you agree with the statement.
Yeah.
The bad experiences don't always make shitty people, but bad experiences don't always make good experiences. I think shitty people can, no matter what, be shitty regardless of good or bad experiences.
Yes.
And I think good people can learn from shitty experiences as well as good experiences.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
agreeable. All right.
I completely agree with that. I
I love
completely
that.
agree with
It's
that.
awesome. But at the same
All right.
time, support from somebody should not be expected every single time because people have lives. Sorry, I was kind of catching them up on what we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
So Skippy has a question, and if you don't fucking know Skippy is probably the #1 supporter on Kick. She needs her own fucking sub badge for just being a supporter. Like, she is the queen of support.
I follow her on Twitter.
Dude, oh my god, dude, like, she is the realest of the real. She's a fucking queen with me. We're both fucking queens at this point. We're fucking royalty, and like, she supports happily. Like, she will go to streams, chat. She had a Twitter post, what was it, like a day or two ago, Skippy, where you were like, I love supporting people, but I feel like on Kick, people have this misconstrued view for how do we get more people talking in chats? I feel like we need to get more people talking in chats. And my response is like, maybe as a streamer, because I feel like this site is more dominantly streamers, we need to take time away from the stream and be in other people's chats. Kind of like how you talk when you want to go support, you go talk to other people and you go into their chats and all that in your free time or take a day off or whatever. I think like we don't have to stream 24/7. I don't think we have to make content 24/7. I think we can make time to support others by going in their streams and just being a viewer. Like, not like we have just like available free time, but like take a day to just be there. But Skippy's question is this: do you feel that people should go outside of their community to support others? Would you encourage your viewers to do the same?
Yes, I tell everyone in my community, go meet new people. So when I came over from Twitch to Kick, I didn't really tell the community what I was going to do. I just kind of came over here, started meeting new people, started talking to new people, started talking to you. And I told everybody, I was like, yo, never use the Discord we have as a crutch. Use it as a way to use the resources that we offer to continue growing what you want to do in life, which is to stream full time, create content full time. And then I told them, I was like, go into people's streams, spend 10, 15 minutes in one person's stream, dedicate your time to them for 10, 15 minutes, talk to them, make a genuine connection, go away from talking about games, talk about their dog. They see the helmets over here all the time. They're like, do you ride? I'll see things like that in there, but yo, do you ride too? Make different connections. And Ghost, C2 Ghost, my buddy, he finally got affiliated because I was talking to him. I was like, dude, just do this. Talk to people, get to know them, talk on Twitter, get to know these people at a real level, not just like, oh, hey, you're the person who gave me 5 subs. No, be like, oh, you're the person who had the dog. Hey, how's your grandma doing? I know you said she fell down. Hey, how's your dad doing? I know he fell down. Like Ghost's dad, he fell down a couple of days ago. And I was like, hey, Ghost, how's your dad? You know, like, you don't know what's going on in people's lives. So ask them, talk to them, be genuine with them. After doing that for a week, dude, he got affiliated within a week. And then he's like, bro, this is crazy. I was like, if you're genuine with them, you talk to them, it pays tenfold. So give, then ask and expect nothing. Because when you expect nothing, you're not gonna get hurt.
Absolutely. Like I like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's so easy to build a community with people who just organically come to you because you're like, oh, people come to see me, can you come see my friends or whatever. But like, I kind of view it like, every little community in Kick. Like, so let's view this. Let's view Kick as like a country, right? Let's view Kick as like the first country that comes up to is like Africa, right? Each little community is not even a country. It's a fucking like small village. And people have their views of how they run their village. They want to keep the people that they want on the inside, or they want to grow, they want to expand, they want to meet new people. Like, yeah, you're always going to find people you don't really mesh with, and you're like, all right, get the fuck out of here. But at the same time, the only way to grow and meet new people and meet new experiences, and I hate using this word because we talked about this earlier and how it's bastardized too. Network, meet new people, communicate with them, make friends. Like, that's how it works around here. Like, unfortunately, we can't be the Tim the Tap Man, Nick Merckx kind of group of 4 or 5 people and ride our way to glory in the sunset. Because you know what they also did? Make connections and meet people. Nick Merckx is part of FaZe Clan, but he still hangs out with his core group of friends. Tim the Tatman joined Complexity because he was a Dallas Cowboys fan and met new people through there. You know, we had Ninja expand over to the pro scenes and all that. We've had X, Y, and Z. You can name a million examples where these people expanded, connected, and did different things because they reached out, or someone reached out to them, or they made connections, or they found a common interest or whatever. Like, that's what it is. It's nuts that people want to get in that mentality. They want to grow with their friends and all that and be like the top streamer friends of all time. Like, I love that. Like, if me, Playtown, C3, and all my close group of friends, and we all became like top streamers and we all hung out together and just streamed every day, that'd be the ideal goal. Yep. But I also want to meet new people. I want to talk to people. I want to grow with people. Because, like, as much as I love PTC3 and all those close friends like Waffle and Ben and all that, sometimes they get on my fucking nerves. I'm kidding. I had to throw that jab in there.
My friends get on my nerves. They're like, "You suck," and I was like, "Yo, I had a bad day." He's like, "Chin up." Like, I get it. Sometimes you just want reassurance, and then sometimes they're like, "Yo, you're being a little bitch today," and I'm like, "Yo, I heard the word bitch one too many times, and we're fighting today. Get the gloves, you know?"
Exactly. He brought up the doggo. Been trying. Sorry, I'm also trying to read chat, but some people got these massive messages. I got to read out loud to just get through the. Sorry, if I read your message out loud, too bad. You typed it. Been trying to mention the doggo because don't want to take the attention away from the insightful conversation. Oh yeah, the doggo's fucking cute. I said that in our private conversation. Like, I fucking love your dogs. I fucking love a good doggo. Too many whining about not having chatters and viewers. But what are they doing to make it better? Nothing but crying on Twitter. Skippy, you bring up a great point. And when we talked earlier in the stream about like the difference between genuine people versus ungenuine people when they're talking about doing all these kind of things like that. And like we talked about, the people who can't wear that mask long enough, you'll start noticing that kind of shit in like their Twitter feeds and their reactions and stuff and all that. They'll be like, man, why can't I get more people talking in chat? Man, why can't I do this and that? It's like, well, what are you doing to get more people to talk in chat? What are you getting?
What are you providing to them? You know, it's all simple.
Dude,
what are you giving to them?
Well, like what? Yeah, like it's a business. I hate to say this, but everything in streaming is a business. Whether you're doing it for fun or you're making money. Once you start making money and once you start caring about growth, it's a business. No matter what. The only way it's not going to be a business is when you don't put on that sub button. You turn off the edge, do whatever. At that point, fuck it, whatever. You're doing you. Yeah. But once you turn on that fucking sub button, and once you start worrying about your fucking view count or your chat count or your sub count or whatever, it's a fucking business. Whether you care about it, the massive amount, like we see fucking people all day on stream, like, can we get these gifted subs off stream or can we do this? Or you care about it a little bit because it like this stuff helps build your community and you want to get back. Or it helps pay rent. Like I hate to bring this out to you because I feel like a lot of people have this misconception with kick streamers because it's all about like, I want to get back. Dude, do you know some of these fucking streamers are living paycheck to paycheck and this helps them pay to keep doing what they're doing? Like, I don't think there's not a streamer in this world who would love to have a good interaction where it's like, hey, I want to be here for the community, but financially I can't, and these subs help pay for that. These subs also go towards these things, but like these subs help pay for like my internet bill, my electricity bill, the cell phone bill, whatever, me to live life. Like, yeah, I can give back subs on my own free time and maybe from the kick paycheck, maybe from my personal bank account. But let's not forget that this helps people pay for just livelihoods. And I think we get such a point. And I think we get this, dude, I think a lot of people see these kick streamers like, we're giving back to the community. We're doing this all fucking day long on Twitter. And they're like, and they can view that as like, they have to give their subs or whatever they're given to them back to the community. Like, I think it's a genuine thing. It's a good hearted thing. But at the same time, you don't have to. You're giving this to support the content creator, whether it's to make more content or be more real or see success or growth or whatever, or you're doing it to enter in a giveaway for whatever reason. That's a different story. But that's what I mean. Like, we see this all the time where, like, I've seen people that are like, I'm afraid to talk about anything about subs because they feel like I have to get back to the community. And I tell people like, no, you fucking don't. Absolutely fucking not. Like, if your version of getting back to the community is being there for them, talking to them in chat, and just being a friend, that is more valuable than a fucking sub. I'll tell you that right fucking now. And some of these streamers and content creators are seeing that the hard way right now, where they're like, why is there not that many viewers? Why is there not that many shares? I do this, I do that. No one gives a fuck what you do by gifting subs. If you're gifting subs and boasting about it on fucking Twitter, sit the fuck down, get off the stream, and reevaluate how you're viewing and streaming. Because if you're thinking subs equal views, you're fucking wrong. Subs will equal temporary views. You want long-lasting viewership. You want long-lasting fucking chats. You want long-lasting support. Be fucking genuine with your fucking chat. Be fucking genuine with the fucking people in your life. Be there for them.
I agree.
It's point fucking blank. But like I said, people are afraid to talk about this stuff. People are afraid to be real about that because they think, well, I've given this much money to the fucking community. I've done this. Where are my chatters? Okay, well, you fucking boasted about it on fucking Twitter. If you're boasting about it on fucking Twitter, you shouldn't have to worry about what you're fucking giving because you know what you're giving it for. Wait, are you telling me you're giving it for the wrong reasons? Because I thought you were giving it to the community. You shouldn't worry about what the community does with it at that point then. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. You're telling me that if I give subs, I talk about it giving back to the community can do whatever the fuck they want at that point? Absolutely.
They can do whatever they want. That's why, like, dude, you know the resources we offer. It's kind of absurd. We've had bigger discords. We had like people who are verified come in and they're like, yo, what the fuck do you have here? Like, how the hell are you not verified? How are you not like this? I'm like, I was like, people are just selfish. I was like, at the end of the day, we can offer them the stuff, but if they don't want to stick around, that's on them. And they're like, how did you manage to do this? I was like, talking to people. I was like, you just talk to people. And then you genuinely care about them. They see you invest in them. They're going to invest in you. And I'm like, they're like, what? And I'm like, I don't pay them. They asked in this position. I just
came up with the greatest analogy. You ready for this?
Yeah.
If a streamer is gifting subs expecting the same love or views or attention back, that's like giving money to a stripper asking her to be your girlfriend and wondering why she's saying no.
Oh, 100%. I love that.
Sorry. Let me say that again. Like, if you expect somebody to come and support you because you are just dropping subs or whatever, it's like giving money to a cooker, or not hooker. It's like giving money to a stripper and wondering why she's not coming back home with you to dinner.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, it is a thing. Like, it just like, it mind boggles me. It literally mind. I think like I said, there's nothing wrong with gifting subs. There's nothing wrong with talking about giving back to the community, but know your heart's intention and know where you come from with that. And that's even coming from me, who before the stream, I was like, I don't like talking about this shit. Now I'm like, listen, you got a point there. There's nothing wrong with gifting subs. There's nothing wrong with talking about being, supporting those who want to support you. But at the same time, know why you're talking about it. Because if you know that you're giving back because you want to give back to the people who give back to you, just know this. You're giving back to people who don't have to give anything back to you after this. And if they want to get back to you after that again, that's awesome, because they know you're genuine, because they see that connection. You're going to have some bad apples in the batch, but you just throw them the fuck away. At the same time, there's nothing wrong with, watch this, there's nothing wrong with just being somebody's friend. Like, are you worried about getting burnt out? Okay, that's part of business. You're gonna go for 1 million handshakes at business conventions, and like 99% of those are not gonna be it. That's gonna fucking happen.
Dude, I have 16-year-olds in my streams, and they're always like, "You don't mind that on sub?" I was like, "Nah, you having fun?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, cool. Keep having fun." I was like, "You guys want a little rave party? Cool. We'll throw one."
Skippy says something really real, and I want to kind of bring this to attention from the chat. She said, to be honest, I try to bring people to all of you. I know the struggle it can be for some streamers, but at the same time, I feel like you should and could make the time to take a day off a week to just surf kick. Go to those nobody knows. That's absolutely fucking right. And we talk like how we talk about with support. There's 1 million ways to support, and even if the supporter cannot support during that time, that's okay, because they have a life. If your form of supporting is resharing your fucking link on Twitter, on a social media, that's support. If your form of supporting is lurking because you're cleaning right now or you can't talk right now, that's support. If your support is just being a follow, like giving them a follow, and you really can't be there past that at that moment, that's still support. And if somebody cannot genuinely see that support, or doesn't like that support, or is wondering why they're not getting the support they deserve, they probably don't deserve your support, and you should just move on fucking past that and Let them fucking burn the thing.
You know how we meet a lot of people?
Mm-hmm.
We go to like the search or discoverability part. We go to lowest to high, and we find people who seem genuine, and then we'll tell them what we offer. Like, not obviously like the freaking graphic designers off of Twitter, but we'll talk to them and be like, and all this and that. We'll tell them what Triple Alliance is about, and like, how do I get in? And I'm like, here's the link, and then they come in, and we make genuine conversation with them. That's how we found Stood Island, and we found out Stood Island is a really good Apex player. And he joined our customs. Crazy. We met another person named Kate today. She's in the UK. We didn't know those two know each other, but they recommend each other on the Twitch like recommendation page. And I started talking to Kate. And I was like, you know who Stood Island is? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, that's my buddy. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was just talking to him yesterday. So it's like we always go down to like the 0, 1, 2s because I'm like, these are the people we can make an impact on. These are the people that literally need help with everything, right? And what do we offer? We offer solutions to their problems, and it's free. So we just like, hey, you want to do this? And they're like, how much should I pay? And I'm like, free.
Free.
They don't believe it until they get in here, and like people are always surprised. Like Diamonds, he's just not a streamer, but he goes around showing support, kind of like Skippy does. Is Skippy a streamer?
So fun fact. Let me tell you this. This is one of the main things I love about. We talk about like community and all that. One of my favorite people that I've met through Kick, his name is Elrod. If you ever get a chance to meet him, he's a funny dude. He's a genuinely sweet dude. He's a 420 supporter like me. But he did a charity raising stream to actually help give Skippy a computer, so not only she can finish her schooling and help support people more, but now Skippy wants to start streaming. And that's awesome. Exactly. I will say this. As much as Elrod is oblivious to his fucking chat, and sometimes he's got that new green behind the ears kind of thing about him because he's a new streamer. I love that dude because I know the heart behind him is so pure. And I will rave about this because it's such a great thing, is that he didn't do like a thing where he's like, I wanna do this and that. He's like, hey, listen, someone in your community, in the Kick community, in this whole world of Kick, who supports nonstop and has loved being a supporter, her computer is taking a shit on her, and I personally want to do something to raise money for her. I want to do something nice out of the goodness of my heart. He got this computer, sent it to her. She was showing off pictures on it today on Twitter, and like, that's the shit that fucking gets my heart so fucking excited about these kind of talking about real, fake, genuinity, authenticity, all that, whatever word you want to fucking use. That's the kind of stuff.
Yep.
But like, I love that. But like, I love that. He didn't give it to another streamer. He didn't give it to like just a random giveaway, like spin the raffle. He took the time. He's like, hey, listen, there's someone in the community who needs something right now. Let's do something for them because they pour their heart out for us. Let's do the same back. And like, I hate, and that's not like a business investment. That is a love and community investment. We are loving somebody in the community who has loved us endlessly and as genuine as possible. Why not give back to somebody that we love and care about? And that's what he did. And it was such an amazing thing to see. And I love it.
That's exactly what we did with one of our friends, Diesel, and I got together and we gave away. We kind of told the community what we were doing, but he wanted to make content out of it, right? He's like, name it a giveaway, but you know you're gonna give it to me. He's like, I want you to make content out of this. And I was like, if that's what you want. So we got a PC and we just gave it to him. And we ran it as a giveaway, but like there was no in the wheel or anything. He was just like, are you really gonna give me this PC? And I was like, well, these and I are like, at the end of the day, it's two people. Like at the end, like, but he's a streamer. Like, he couldn't stream for like 6 months because his PC took a crap on him. So we were like, screw it. He's doing good, you know, like just keep going.
Yeah, and like I like how you talked about, like, there's a difference between doing a community giveaway and just helping out someone in the community. Whether that's doing it on the screen or off the screen or whatever is a difference. But at the same time, you're like, this person is a key cornerstone of this community. They are a vital pillar of what makes this community a community. And we want to do something out of the goodness of our hearts to get back. Now we're like, hey, we bought you a PC, now rep us. Hey, we bought you a PC, shout me out. You were like, hey, this person needs help. We love them and they love being here. I want to do something out of the goodness of my heart to do something back. And that's what I want to see out of people and Kick. I want to see out of this. And like I said, I think it's also my burnt perspective on seeing fake people do giveaways in the mixture of good people do giveaways, that it gets blinded with the bad, because I say this openly, I have a not so positive outlook on people. I think most people are shit until you give them a reason. Like I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. Most people are shit until they give you a reason they're not shit. Like sometimes you can see someone, they're bubbly and giggly, like, all right, yeah, you're not a shit person. You're innocent. You're a lovey guy or a lovey person. And there's some people who will put on a fake persona, like, oh yeah, community, oh yeah, this, and they'll say all the buzzwords and they'll ring in your ear. You're like, okay, yeah, I get it. And then they're just a piece of shit human being behind the scenes. You're like, okay, yeah, no. Anyways, but yeah, like I love seeing that kind of things.
Yeah, we've been going on for 1.5 years doing the same thing, and it hasn't changed.
Dude, exactly. All right. We're hitting the 3-hour mark. This is the longest podcast we've had so far, even though it's been 2. We broke the record for a long podcast. We could literally talk for like hours upon hours on so many things on life, on content creation and all that. But there's 2 questions I have to ask you. One's a stupid question. One's a real question. I'm gonna ask you the stupid question first, so let me pull it up. I promised somebody in the community in Twitter that I would ask this question to the next guest I have. Let me just pull it up. Okay. You ready for this? Are you ready for the stupid question, right?
I'm ready.
At the breakfast table, okay, you have 5 items: milk, grits, toast, waffles, and an omelet. Out of all those 5, which one is the most important one to you?
The omelet.
Why?
Do you see the price of eggs nowadays?
bro, like to be honest, my answer was also omelet, but my answer was like, I've been on an egg kick. That's really it. I was so burnt out on eggs because that's all I ate in college, because that's what they gave us. But recently I've been loving eggs, like scrambled eggs, putting eggs in my burgers and all that shit, and I'm just being like, dude, honestly, eggs, because like that's what I'm in the mood for. I'll like give me an omelet with like bacon, cheese, sausage. Oh, that fucking would slap right now.
I haven't had egg in like months, dude. And my mom came over and she bought me the 60 count from Walmart.
Yeah.
And she's like, here you go. And I was like, I love you.
I didn't know you were a millionaire, Mom.
I was like, man, where's the money at?
Yeah,
like, who are you married to now?
Dude, it's funny. So like, and the other question that I want to ask is I want to make this a tradition for the end of stream. Like, I always want the person I interview to try to give some kind of a genuine advice, if it's not a debate, obviously. Like if we end on good terms, this is what I want to do. I think with anything in life, whether it's content creation, life itself, or whatever, I think there's always a genuine thing that we like want the best out of people. We want people to understand or learn, like a life lesson, whatever, whether it's content creation or not. What is one thing you want people walking away with today? And if you need a minute to think, you can take a minute to think, because I got to drink anyways.
I know we debated this a little bit, but I think we were debating around in circles, in the sense that we both agreed. We just saw it a little bit different ways. It was the same coin, just different view. I think we agreed on this. Don't let fear be the reason you don't do something. Don't let the fear of people judging you. Don't let the fear of you failing. Don't let the fear of someone judging you, even your family members, man. Don't let it be the reason you don't do something or pursue something that you really want to do. It could be content creation. It could be running a sparring race. It could be moving to a different state, starting a new career. You don't know where it's going to lead to, and you don't want to have that regret in life. So don't be afraid of the unknown, and just don't let fear take over your life.
I think that's not just a good, I think that's a very valuable outlook and tool to kind of give to people. Like I said, like a lot of people have these fears, whether it's starting a stream, whether it's meeting people around them. And like how you said, how you had that one person who was afraid to talk in your own chats. Like, I think there's a lot of fear that people have because of past experiences, traumas, issues, whatever, or they're afraid of judgment, or they're afraid of failing and all that. And I genuinely think taking a risk is worth it versus not. Like, unfortunately, some risks may come with a heavier burden that you may not be ready for, and that happens, and that's fine. And if you need time to heal and grow past that, you take that time and heal to grow. But like how you said, how you were dealing with the people with the hospice care and all that, they always said, like, I wish I could have done it there. It's like regret because they didn't do this, they didn't do that. That's kind of like how this all started. I wanted to take that leap of faith, that kind of output of what I want to do into the ether, into that, like, whatever you want to call life, that's that world. And like I said, it's been great so far. And like I said, I believe in this. So whether the views matter right now or not, it doesn't matter. Because, like, I'm having a genuine connection. I'm growing in not only my outlook of content creators, but my outlook on life itself. And that's what the great part is. I'm getting challenged because I know my way is not 100%. And that's the risk I'm taking, is that I don't have to come in here and risk not knowing everything, because I don't. And the great part about risking it by talking to people like you that are brand new to me is that I get to learn different outlooks on life. Not everything is going to be sunshine and rainbows. Not every conversation I'm going to have is going to be the greatest one. And maybe I walk away more stubborn-headed sometimes because of just people being dumbasses.
Yep.
But not taking that shot is going to be more dreadful. I mean, where I could have been down the road, like I say, a year or two from now, and then someone else has the same idea and does something and is successful, and they're doing the same things I had to do, and I can be like, man, I could have been doing this last year. I could have been doing this here. I can do this and that. Because here's the thing: you're not going to see success every time, every single moment of the day. You're going to only see success with the effort and energy you put in. And as long as you're real, and as long as you bring something to the table that people like, they're going to come. People are going to want to support you. People are going to want to hear this. And then you say something outrageous, and you might get viral. And even if you don't, the people that come and support you, they're doing it out of their own free will, out of their own free time. And that means more to me, that someone's like, hey, you posted this podcast, and I love the fucking shit you say, and I love you as a human being. I'm going to give it a listen. I may not listen to all of it, but I'm going to give it a listen. I'm going to give it a like. I'm going to share it. I'm going to do whatever. Or I'm going to post it around or whatever. Like, even just acknowledging that they love me and they care about me on a genuine level, and they want to be able to support as best they can. But even if the times they can't, that means more to me than anything. So like I said, with taking risks, don't be afraid of everything. Like, if you like somebody, tell them. And if they don't like you back, it probably is for a fucking good reason.
Yeah.
If you want to connect with more people, fucking talk to people. Because here's the thing: you're gonna find good people you're gonna connect with, and you're gonna build lifelong friendships. You're gonna find people who are piece of shit human beings and you want to stay away from. But once you learn more about these and you take those risks and you get those life experiences, next time you go out, you can discern a little bit better. You can read through the lines. You can, see through the fucking smoke. And like, it takes risks to a whole new level for you, to where you're like, right now it's just talking to people. Right now it's just making new friends. But tomorrow, it's starting a business. Tomorrow, it's creating a community to help do something. It's creating a project. It's doing whatever. It's taking that. It's trying to get that promotion from the job at work. It's trying to go for a new job because you're stuck at one place and you fucking hate it, but you're too afraid to leave. Risks are meant to be taken, and I think how you said it is beautiful. Like, let's try to live our life with the least amount of regrets as possible. And to start that is by taking risks, so we can get out of that fear bubble, so we can grow and succeed as human beings.
Yeah, I agree.
Delphi, I want to thank you so much for coming on this podcast. Like, this is the exact thing that I love about talking with people about stuff like this. Like, yeah, we talked about content creation, we talked about the icks and all that, but the humanistic aspect that we have today means more than anything. Because like I said, we could talk about content fucking creation for 10 hours a day, and we could always we could have different points left and right, and I love talking about the different points. I love having different viewpoints.
Yep.
But it's meeting somebody who is genuine, and I use that word authentically. I use that word really, because I've been to your Discords and I've seen you and how you operate that Discord. Because when you say you're doing something, you are doing it. I've seen it. When you say you're doing something, I've seen that. Like, you sent me a link to your Discord. You're like, yeah, join, take a look. I'm not hiding shit. All
Yeah.
right. I sat there in the shadows in my depression, and IT's helping IT. I've seen like 17 fucking notifications for a community night, for a fucking movie night, for a game night, for supporting streamers, for doing X, Y, and Z. I think that's a thing that like I like seeing out of people. I don't think there's an issue with being private in certain things, but when you're saying shit and you're backing it up and you have no fear about showing it, that's how you know. That's how you know someone's real. Whether you think it's like your example of it or not is a different story. Like if you say, "Hey, I got this IT person." This guy's like, "I'm just doing this out of my pretense." Like the community, like, "Well, you're not hiring him." Like that's still the same shit. Calm your fucking tits.
Yeah.
But when you start seeing people who are not afraid to just be them, and they're like, "Hey, I'm doing this," like, "Oh yeah, well prove it right here." You're like, "Oh, you don't care about
so
showing
funny.
it?" Side note, when I was making a list in executive sales sheet about tracking people and like getting them interested in interviews and all that, and someone's like, "I bet you don't even have like 10 people written down." I was like, "Here's the Google fucking link. Take a look. You're on there. Your Twitch is on there. Your TikTok's on there. Your Instagram's on there. You don't have a YouTube, it's not on there. I not only do I have your Twitter and it's linked to that name, but everything has a hyperlink so I can go back to look at those things. So when I do my research later, your app for Twitter is there. What now?" And they're like, "Oh, I didn't think you were serious." Like, just because somebody else is serious, I get it. You want to have skepticism, but I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
Like, I may not get to everybody. Everybody might be a good suit for what's being done, but it doesn't mean that the people who showed interest, I'm not going to take an account for that. Because those people took the time to say, "Hey, I am interested." They're interested in your dream. They're interested in what your project is. They're interested in what you want to do. They're taking that investment of showing interest, whether it's good or bad or whatever. You weed it out as you go along. But at the same time, you got to be genuine with those people, because you don't know their intentions until they get to a point where they start showing their true colors. Like I'm not going to name drop anybody. There was one guy that the community loved to death, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy's real. This guy's awesome. You should really get him on the podcast." He was one of the first persons that I messaged. I was like, "Hey, saw that you're interested." This was like 2 hours after I made the tweet. I said, "Hey, so you're interested? A lot of people vouch for you. Like, I would love to have you on the podcast." Radio silence. And I was like, "Okay, well, I don't know if he saw it or not." So one day I went to his stream, because I was like he was posting some stuff that it wasn't really cool with. Not like he was like posting horrible things, but like just like weird sussy things that give us the ick. Like, "All right, I'm gonna go to his stream. I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna go and see what it's all about." He's just sitting there watching somebody else stream. He pulls up his Twitter. Twitter has no notification. I'm like, "Okay, so you've seen my tweet because you have no notifications. You've seen my DM. So you just don't want to do it. You could just said that, but okay."
Yeah.
And like, we're not gonna go further on to that point. But it's one of those things where it's like, you're gonna weed it out, and even the community might not be able to weed it out till later on, and that's just gonna happen. Like, if you want to start a war and you want to call somebody out, go right for it. But sometimes, like you said, those hard life lessons are made to be learned, and once they start learning them, they're gonna weed out people faster. So when someone says, "Oh, this guy's the real deal," and he really isn't, it'll be easier to spot. We'll spot it within a week versus 3 months.
Yeah. I always tell everyone I talk to, I always tell them, be very, very observant of who claps for you when you succeed and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're up, when you're nobody, yeah, no one's gonna believe in you. But there's gonna be a few people who are like, "Oh, let me see if I can ride this coattail all the way to the top," right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they see success, and then they're like, all of a sudden the clapping stops. I've had people that were in the community where we would sit in the Discord call, like we'd all be playing community night, right? And what I'll do is like I'll start giving out shout outs to everybody who's in there. And then this is where I say don't expect anything, right? Because it hurts. It doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The people who are like, "Oh, I'm always in there, I'm always in there, I'm always in there," like I'm always in there, and I'm like, maybe I never see you, but it's all right, cool. Maybe you're lurking. When you go to give shout outs, you know who's in there, who's not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then I didn't bring it up to them. I was just like, "Okay, I appreciate your support. Thank you so much." Like, yeah. I have everyone pulled up right now, but they're on their phone. And then I participate in community night. They're just sitting there being a loner. but I started realizing the people who really want you to succeed will always clap. The
Mm-hmm.
people who don't want you to really succeed, they'll clap to a certain point, and when they see you getting further ahead of them, that's when they remove their support.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people I want to be surrounded by. So that's why I never bring it up. I'm just like, I know who's gonna get like
Who's
higher.
yeah. And I also like to add on to that. Just because someone supports you and claps you right now, let's see how it looks like in a couple of weeks when you have something else to cheer about or you have nothing to cheer about.
Mhm.
Like I said, when going to streamers and meeting other streamers, you're gonna have the realization that you're not gonna get to everybody's stream. Like to be very frank, I do this on purpose. I don't spend a lot more time in my bigger friend streams, not because I don't want to support them, because I know there's other people a little lower that I would love to support and show some love and caring towards. Mm-hmm. That's just me personally. Now, do I still go to the bigger friend streams and talk in here? They're like, yeah. Like if I got friends who are like 50, 60, whatever views, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't care about them. Like they're fine. They're doing good. And if they're talking about they're worried about stuff, we can always talk in a private Discord call or in a DM or whatever. And like I don't mind supporting those people in a certain way, like a tab or whatever. But like I, as a smaller streamer, love to support smaller streamers because usually you find genuine people up there. Not that you're not gonna find genuine people up top, but like there's a beautiful connection when you get to build with somebody who is grateful for just the littlest of interactions.
Yeah.
Because you know you mean something to them. I love meeting people who talk about on the little things. Like if I say hi and they're just talking up a storm to me because they're like excited to see me. They don't even care who I am. They're like, oh hey, what's going on? Like what like we're playing Apex, and they're like, hey, do you, man? I'm here to watch you. Like what's going on? Like I'm like, oh man, that's a good kill. Like GG's, nice try. It's like yeah, like how long are you playing Apex? And you start rambling and rambling and rambling. And you start building those connections. Like here's the thing, I don't expect those people to come to my streams. If they do, that's awesome.
They typically will. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because you're building a connection. Like yeah, it's a give and take. And if they don't, like you said, if they never come to my stream, I get it.
Yeah.
And then maybe I just don't come back to theirs, and it's just that connection dies out, and it just happens. It's like a friendship. Like I'm not friends with everybody that I'm friends with back in high school, as much as I build those great connections. I'm not friends with everybody I built back in college because I built those great connections. Because just life took us different paths.
Yes.
The same thing with streaming. Like there's nothing wrong with trying to invest in somebody and them not giving that investment back to you. That's just a life lesson learned. That's okay. Either they don't understand the investment or they don't care or whatever, or something happened. So I'm going to take my investment of my time and my energy, my support, put it somewhere else. Like someone who wants to deserve it. And maybe that's giving extra love to somebody who you see has been growing up and you want to see more succeed. Maybe it's saying like, hey, let's go find somebody new. Hey, I haven't shown support to this kind of person in a while. Let's go do this. It happened. Wait, Flu, what do you mean you delete the whole message? Yeah, well, you can either type it again or whatever. Maybe you posted a link or something. It didn't work. I don't fucking know. Kick is very weird with messages. I don't fucking know. I know a mod didn't do it. You're a fucking mod. You should see it. But like I said, it's just like I said, I think one of the things that like a lot of people, I think is also a valuable lesson for me is like as a streamer, watch this. You're not a full-time entertainer. I don't see Chris Rock. You don't see Chris Rock on the fucking stage 24/7. I don't see fucking The Rock doing a movie 24/7. He takes off ties. He does other things. He does charity events or whatever. Take the time. Like here, I don't ever want to stop somebody if they're enjoying the streaming grind, but take the time to step back and be a viewer. Like I think a lot of people. I think Twitch was such an easy thing to say that to because like there's so many people on Twitch who are just viewers, not streamers. Like, yeah, there's a lot of streamers trying to grow, but there's a lot of viewers on there too. I feel personally on Kick, there's more streamers to viewer interactions. Yeah. And I feel like you shouldn't burn yourself out on stream while you're entertaining, typing in people's chats or whatever. Like, I get you're trying to show support and you're at the computer and two birds, one stone, but we're here for you. And if you're trying to put your attention to being for somewhere else, you're going to get distracted with your stream. You're going to get distracted with what you're doing, I think, personally. And I think I said, if there's a down moment and you want to do something, like, hey, we're loading up in Apex. We're waiting for the next round. I'm waiting for the drop. Let me drop a couple emotes. Let me do whatever. I totally get that. I totally do. But if all you're doing is on stream doing something for somebody else, how am I supposed to support you when I don't even know what you do? How am I supposed to support somebody that is not entertaining, not doing whatever. And if their whole, and like I said, I know people who are like, oh, all I do is stream and I want to stream other people's streams and boost them and all that. Like, yeah, that like in theory, I get that, but like, what do you bring to the table except for like a view count? Like you're just
that's where I talk about what value you bring into the community. Like, what are you doing for the people that support you at the end of the day? And look at Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart even said it when he goes on tour, he spends most of his time going to small comedy clubs to get inspiration. Then he does his big showcase.
Yeah. And like I said, like he doesn't do comedy shows every day. Like sometimes he sits in his fucking closet or sits in his office and works on his craft. And sometimes you need to work on your craft. And maybe working on your craft is updating your stream stuff. Maybe working on your craft is, you know, having a project or having something to work for that gets you excited. Or sometimes building your craft is like building your endurance in stream. Like if you normally stream like 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you get tired and you get out of there and you want to do like a 24-hour stream coming up, maybe building up your endurance and trying stuff out and all that. Not so you don't kill yourself on a 24-hour stream like I would do.
Like I did one the other day. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this again.
Dude, I don't mind 24-hour streams. They just like they have to be planned out. They have to be well planned out, and I have to figure out what I'm doing. Like, I don't mind doing a 20-hour stream being by myself. It's I can play games by myself and nobody talks in chat. It happens. I could do that easily. But the energy it takes to do 24-hour streams and not give up and not just end at like 16 hours or 12 hours or whatever, that's the real thing. I have this kind of like thing, like if I'm doing something, I want to do something to the fullest or until I have to collapse.
Yeah.
Some people are not like
anime at one point. I'm being serious. One of the viewers was like, he's like, you want to watch anime? You look a little tired. I was like, yes. Please.
Yeah. You're like, thank you for the suggestion. I'm a little brain dead right now, so thank you. No, and I love what Flukichu said in chat. You gotta love and support the big homies, but give love to the little guys, and giving them is such an important thing to do. You will meet some amazing people. Absolutely. I like there's you. It's not like you won't meet amazing people up at the top, but you find a lot of diamonds in the rough that'll be there for you forever for showing them the littlest of support. Like I said, I don't think Tim the Tan Man is ever going to be like not grateful for the support he gets, and if there are lifelong people, he's gonna remember them. Like I love like Nick Merckx, like one of the greatest things he's ever said, which mind boggles me as a business person, but love it as a community person. He said he's not leaving Twitch not because he doesn't want to make more money, but because he's already built such a long-lasting community that people have subbed to him for like 30 months, 50 months, and all that, and he loves seeing that growth. He loves seeing the people connected through there. Like. He's comfortable enough with his money to where he's like, I don't need more money. More money is great, but I built a community here, and they love being here right now, and I don't want to ruin that for them because they're the reason why I am today. And that's a big thing. Like, your community will always follow you. Tim the Tan Man was a great example. His community has followed him to the best of their abilities, and the people that didn't support him or whatever didn't come, and that happened. But now he's one of the best fucking Twitch or YouTube streamers with on average like 15 to 20,000 viewers on YouTube. Like it's wild to believe that. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Logan the Ginger, thank you for the host, my guy. Dude, why do you have to come in with your beautiful bearded face? Let me know when we're doing our OnlyFans shoot. Hashtag below average gang.
Below average, yes.
That's our thing, yeah. But guys, thank you for welcoming me. Unfortunately, we're coming in at the very end of the podcast, but I mean, like I said, we could keep talking for hours and hours and hours. So, but
100%.
But like I said, I don't want to keep him up because he's a human being. He has a life. But definitely, Delphi, you would definitely be seeing a DM for me for another interview down the road. Hopefully, my OBS doesn't like crash like 17 times in the middle of the thing. And cross my fingers. I hope this fucking recording doesn't have issues like Skippy was having. But I think by the fact that she heard you better, hopefully it all worked out.
Perfect.
But like I said, thank you so much for coming. I'll definitely be messaging you later on tomorrow when I'm wide awake and not like half brain dead from being up since 6 a.m. But like I said,
I get it.
but thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate your generosity. I appreciate your openness to talk about stuff. And most importantly, I appreciate your face.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. You have a beautiful night, good sir.
You too, man. I hope your pillow is nice and cold, baby.
Oh, man.
I appreciate you.
You know what? I hope you wake up and you have a delicious breakfast. How about that?
Ooh, omelets. We have eggs now.
Yeah, let's get...
You have a good night, man.
You have a good night. I'll talk to you later.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.